Welcome back, shoppers, to the Lucky Die in Kino. Previously, Greff negotiates with Carsons, Ivoris considers logistics of using his mail service, Vox chooses a new name, and Tawree has a good cup of tea and a talk. The team travels to the city to rescue Aulus, and spends time with the underground store of Sarsons looking to improve their defences. Rushing their way across the capital before it is destroyed, the team finds themselves in the wine cellar about to execute their carefully considered plan. Are Sarsons and Carsons the same thing? How long before Tawree sees her kits again? And how did Aulus save Adelov's life? I guess we're about to find out. Welcome back to the Lucky Die in Kino.
Okay. Which one of you has the highest passive perception?
Unlikely that it's me.
16?
18.
Yeah, 16.
11?
You have one.
Get out of here.
Neo.
Passive
Not wise. Not very wise.
Passive is 10 plus whatever your perception is.
Yeah, so plus 1, 11.
Wow.
No proficiency and a low wisdom will do that
Look,
to you.
I have charisma and dex. I was a paladin. Right.
What?
Now you're a warlock. Good move.
What no proficiency will do to a motherfucker.
All right. In that case, Vox, as the group of you are kind of standing in that doorway, if you look up to the left, you see there's a bit of a corridor and then it goes up into a staircase. Directly ahead of you, you can see that there is another corridor that arches around to the left. Along all of these passageways, you can see there are either cells or just regular doors. You notice, or you hear rather, that off in the distance, somewhere a little bit further along in this, let's just call them what they are, dungeon complex, you hear the sound of slow shuffling feet, and you can hear like definitely two distinct sets. Up on the left, you can hear another being shuffling about up on the staircase. That mist that you all kind of managed to escape from the streets, it has that same feeling here, but without that heavy mist in the air. It's that, oh no, everything is wrong and sad and just not good. And it's got that beginning feel of like burning to the air, but it's not doing damage right now. It's not, for example, blinding Greff. So have at. Adenlov is right at the front, right next to all of you. As you're standing in the wine cellar, Ivoris, you get your message back. And the message is, Baskin will open the box. Baskin doesn't quite understand, but will trust your instruction. As always, Baskin loves you.
Baskin has good ice cream.
Okay. Aw.
I think we're going to have to be real quick and careful here. It seems to me like there's probably some very dark creatures in here, and I think that mist stuff is going to be coming in soon.
All right. Does Adenlov know the way here, or?
I have no idea where he's kept. I just know that if they were going to capture him, it would be here.
Well, then I guess it's just blind luck from now on.
I mean, it kind of sounded like there was maybe, like, I don't know, about 3. I'm going to assume that they're probably undead around here. What if...
Yes.
Maybe Greff, you're probably most qualified for this. Greff, you just stand there and be real loud. You're real good at that. Be real loud and be like, "Hey, Aulus, are you here?" And then the rest of us hide. And then when the three of them come over here, we just,
No.
No.
We can't
I
waste
think
any
that's
spells.
absolutely a dismal plan.
I mean, we don't gotta waste spells. We could just, like, I got cantrips. On fire? I'll throw some fire at him.
Kind of see if I can find where we find him at, but I might be blinded if it fails. So
Tawree is also going to
either.
Tawree is also going to look where Ottrup is, and is he around?
Yeah, you see Ortrop kind of like where the corridor ahead of you begins to like arch around to the left, not the one that's going up the staircase.
Mm-hmm.
You just see this kind of the tail just at the very end. You don't really see much of the bunny itself. Most of it is hidden. You just see the little tail there.
Little nubbin.
I think I'm gonna try. Ottrup, what are you doing over there?
You see it kind of like turn around and it kind of like tilts its head at you, and then it kind of like steps back into the shadows, and you feel this warm presence appear next to your leg, and it kind of looks up at you.
Can you help us? Can you?
Maybe.
Sorry, you didn't. We didn't see what Aulus looked like, right?
The only
No.
people who know what Aulus... Yeah, the other three here should know what Aulus looked like. He's a drow, if I remember correctly.
I'm gonna whisper to Ottrup. Can you try finding a drow in any of these cells and maybe help us find the one we're looking for?
Sure.
They kind of hop off, and you just see them just going down the corridor, disappearing into the shadows, like melting, and then coming back again and hopping along and disappearing into the shadows and melting back again. You hear, Vox, that the shuffling from up the staircase is beginning to move. It's you can probably tell from the sound, it's quite a long staircase, and you can hear this kind of a thunk as if it's getting closer, but it's not really moving very fast. You just know that there is something coming down.
Hey, whatever you're doing, we don't got very much time left. Sounds like whatever's up the stairs there is coming this way.
I'm just trying to speed things up, and I'm trying to help.
No, you're good. I'm just warning you that we're gonna have company real soon here.
You see Adelov, she puts her hand... no, her hand has never been empty of her dagger. She just spins it in a way she's like, looks like she's about ready for whatever combat may come. She's clearly tensed. A few moments later, this shuffling noise comes much, much closer. The shuffling noise that's further along this corridor, arching off to the left, you can hear it much, much closer now. Everything seems to be converging either where you are or somewhere along this corridor. When Ortrov just appears back to you, and Ortrov kind of looks back up, and they say,
Found 2 drow.
Where?
They're in cells.
and Ortrov literally just kind of begins to bound their way along like the corridor.
Like
They
in the
don't
center
seem
of
to
the
be giving-
corridor?
Yep, they just
Oh,
seem
no.
to give no shits. Do all of you follow? Do some of you stay here?
This is why I hate escort quests.
Oh, this bunny is not going slow. It is bounding down this corridor.
The other bad escort quest.
Oh, when they go too fast and you can't quite keep up and they get in trouble. Yeah, that's all trouble.
And meanwhile, you get attacked from all sides, and you're like, wait, hold on.
Oh yeah, it's gonna pull every single aggro mob around here. We're fucked.
Oh no!
Son of a bitch. Adelov takes off after it. Adelov is very quiet and very stealthy. Who else is going with? Are you all going? Or are you...
yes.
I'm definitely sneaking after it, like trying to make sure to stay close to the walls and try to find the shadows.
Yeah, definitely sticking together.
I believe that
Okay.
the blindness wore off during our travels through the sewers.
Yes, they did. They wound off like about 5 minutes after you received it. So it's kind of just before you got to this wine cellar, actually.
Yeah.
You looked up and you managed to see the ladder and like the trapdoor itself.
Yeah, and I joined the I follow the group.
All right, anybody who is in an attempt to follow this bunny in a secret, stealthy-like manner, I require you to make a roll of stealth, please.
Stealth.
Whoops. I think, did I tick something? No.
Oh. Oh, good.
I'm gonna say this is a group check.
Whoa, that was not good.
Damn!
Oh,
God damn it!
Oh, I'm rolling on disadvantage because I'm wearing studded leather. Right.
If Aulus didn't know we were here before, definitely knows now.
Didn't I have a skill or something to make?
Yeah, but it's a spell and you have to precast it.
It's your
okay.
you have the ability to make everyone around you stealthy, but it requires one of your key points to do so.
Oh.
Aulus, what's your passive perception, buddy?
The passive perception of Aulus, our dear friend, is a 12.
Okay, you hear... Oh, I better check for Adenlove. You hear 3 people approaching. They're trying to be stealthy. You know, like the idea when you hear kids like doing that over the top kind of thing. You hear that. You hear the slight creaking of armor. You hear the rustling of cloth, and it's making its way towards you. It's not the usual sounds of shuffling of the creatures around you or the direct pathway of a guard specifically coming to you, but you do hear this coming.
Yeah, Aulus probably still thinks it's something sinister is afoot. He's been here for a few days, and things haven't been that kind.
So he's not going to help when called up. Perfect.
He'll just keep reciting poetry that he can think through in a sad, forlorn voice.
Okay. As the folks of you kind of get to this, like turning in the corridor, you walk forward a bit and you see a bit of a distance along. You see that there are these 2 humanoid figures. These 2 humanoid figures, one of them is a very tall tiefling. Their armor is in tatters. You can see that even from this distance that one of their horns is broken. They both seem to have eyes that are either whited over with decay or they're just missing completely. They seem to be shuffling along. One of them is wearing what looks like broken and tattered leather armor, and the other one is wearing just rags, as if you can see on their skin that there are clearly deep gouge marks that were once magical runes but are now bereft. They're ahead of you, and to your left, in the cell that's just left of you, just as you turn this corridor, you hear this chanting, almost like a prayer or poetry being said. And for 3 of you, or 4 of you if you include Adenlove, would recognize this as Aulus.
So they spotted us, yeah?
They're shuffling towards you. I'm going to say they're about 70 feet out at this point.
Greff is going to approach the gate. Does it look locked? Does it look complicatedly locked?
So it's basically a wooden door that has like small bars in like part way up so that you can see into it or pass things through. The door looks like there is just, you know, like a simple lock, like a handle with a lock in it. Yeah, that's what you got. And looking in, you can see... Aulus, do you want to reintroduce yourself for the people who don't know what you look like?
Sure.
Or have never met you?
Aulus is a dark elf. He's got some that's his alignment. Sorry, I was like, his skin is gray, but his alignment's also gray. His yellow eyes look forlorn with furrowed brow. His wonderful side-trimmed haircut with a longer tuft on top. He's going fairly light. He hasn't been fed in a while, and you can see that very clearly because his hands are up in shackles, and he's also completely naked. And he's been very clearly tortured for a bit for no real discernible reason. His hands bound in very painful red that is literally cut into his hands in imitation of the god that he may or may not worship.
What do you all want to do? I'm going to give you a few seconds before I do something with these shuffling folks.
Just to understand you correctly, there's like a long corridor, and we are standing in the middle of the corridor. At the end are the 2 zombies or whatever the fuck they are, and on our side is a door where we hear Aulus.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
100% correct.
Nailed it.
It's
yeah,
locked,
Greff,
right?
Yeah, Greff's just gonna mumble like, it's probably locked, maybe with magic. Does anybody know anything?
Adenlove is already at like roughly the right height. she reaches into her hair and she pulls out what looks like this kind of fancy-looking lockpick, and she goes to work on the pick, and she just kind of very quietly says, "Just make sure." Nope. You hear a click, and the door pops open.
Can we all
She
rush
goes
inside?
Yes, she goes inside.
I'm going to cast a spell on the door called Silent Image, which I have the warlock thing to do as a cantrip or however it works.
Okay.
I have one that says Invocation, Silent Image, and another one that says Free, Silent Image. I guess in case I forgot that it's free, because it goes in the Roll20 as a first level spell. But anyways.
Yep.
Yeah, I can create a 15-foot thing, and I want to just recreate the wall as if there's no door here. Because I don't anticipate they're going to be too super thoroughly
that sounds pretty
investigative.
Pretty nice. All right, could you link that ability for me, please?
Yeah,
because I'm assuming there's probably some sort of roll my boys and my girls got to do.
Zombies just walk up to it. One of the zombies goes like, "Door." The other zombie's like, "No,
Could you,
brains."
No wall. Could you also link your major spell plan, please? The box.
My who?
Your box spell.
Oh, yes.
All right. Okay. Cool. No problem. We've got this. And what is your spell save DC?
Spell save DC is 16.
Gotcha. All right. Let's look at my... All right. Cool beans. Yes, you are all able to run in there and you are able to put this spell up very, very quickly. You still hear the shufflers making their way towards you, but for now, you assume that your spell is working.
Ooh.
All right.
We all need to cram inside of this cell.
Is it small?
The cell is like, maybe like, I don't know. It's like about a dwarf wide, maybe a dwarf and a half long.
What?
There are no light sources. There's nothing in here.
Wait, is the cell just a person
toilet.
sized?
It's tiny. Yeah.
It's a closet.
It's a closet.
It's not in like,
yes, thank you.
I'm going to
closet.
use like a really big room to house a prisoner. No. This is an unpleasant cell. Like this is a squish for all of you. Avalov has just made her way to the back because she clearly knows like there are some way bigger people in here. And if you ever played Sardines, you know you can fit a lot of people inside a closet. This is tight.
Is there a light source? Like, can we at least see Aulus?
Hands up those of you who don't have dark sight or dark vision. Oh boy.
You all
Wait,
don't
three
have
of you
dark vision?
Oh, no, wait, I do, because I'm a snake and a cat in both of those things. I'm good.
What the fuck?
I just remembered that I can.
I'm gonna say that there is some light pouring in from the corridor because you all know that the spell that Ivoris has just cast is an illusion.
Oh, I
so
remember.
You would
I
all be able
asked.
to see a little.
I asked in the last episode if Ivoris could see a window, if we could pinpoint down if this was like towards in a certain direction. So I think you did describe there was a window.
Yeah, there are windows along the. Yeah, there would be windows along the side of the corridor, but wouldn't necessarily be in the room that Aulus is in.
Okay.
Because you've also like turned a corner.
I'm gonna ask either Greff or Vox. Is this the one we're looking for?
Yes, that's Aulus.
Oh, God.
Hey,
And
Alice, you conscious?
Tawree is going to take her cloak off and wrap it around him.
Like around his waist, his arms above him. You're like, nah, fuck this.
No, I have kids. No, I know what to do in this situation.
Just to let you know, he's
No
probably
child of
gonna
mine will wander around naked.
he's probably gonna get naked again, though.
Hey, now.
No,
Wait a minute.
no, don't look at me. I'm too clothed.
Are you all really here?
I mean, in the grand scheme of things, probably not. Physically, yes.
How can you prove you're not an illusion?
I poke him in the chest.
Well, that kind of checks out. That kind of hurt, though.
I make my first box.
Yeah, we should probably get you out of here. We'll talk about the rest of that shit later.
Start the process of boxing.
Okay.
Let's get him out of here first. Do you have a preference for what kind of
Creation
animal?
of your box. All right.
I like spiders.
Got you. I'm real good at spiders.
You begin casting this spell. You create a nightmare version. So this is going to be shitty for Aulus. Your arm's still above your head. Some cloak tied around your waist, maybe against your will. I don't know. You see this nightmare version of one of the people who've come to rescue you appear just in front of you, crammed in amongst everybody else. They seem to have shadows that seem to be just dripping off of them. They have a very large hood, and they're holding this 3x3x3 box, which means everyone is kind of smashed against the walls and in all corners. Adlov does her best just to climb upwards and sit up in a as close up to the ceiling as she can, using her arm and her legs just to brace herself. This is what you see. When you cast this, those of you who are closest to the door, I need one person who is closest to this fake door.
I'll put Greff there.
Great. Greff, you hear, since Ivoris is casting, you hear the shufflers momentarily stop and then pick up their pace towards you. I would like all of you to roll initiative.
Uh-oh. Well, that didn't work.
Okay. All right. We got this. We're fine. We have a plan.
It's gonna go
do
fine,
have a plan.
guys.
We have half a plan.
Oh,
Critical
thank
failure.
God for that.
Oh, Travis.
Oh, thank God for that.
Oh, Travis.
Opening roll of the game. This bodes well.
Well, I mean,
All right.
it's fitting though. You're chained up against the wall. You've been beaten the shit out of. You know,
Yeah,
a little slow to react. It's fine.
it's in character.
All right, then. So let's go with the first person I see on the top left, and we'll go around. Aulus, what did you get?
1.
Your dexterity is...
Sorry.
0?
If you include non-critical failure numbers, my number gets slightly higher and it becomes a 4.
Okay, cool. Cool. Ivoris, what did you get?
I got a 19.
19. Greff, what did you get?
23.
23. Okay. And Tawree, what did you get?
6.
Fox, what did you get?
I got a nat 20, 22.
Ooh. What a time to waste a 20.
Adnalov got 9. But then her dexterity has been slowed down somewhat by people in this room. My Shambler is going to go on the same turn. Okay. Box has been summoned. You have this box. How you wish to enact your plan is entirely up to you. Greff, top of the round, what do you want to do?
I can hear the Shambler shuffling towards us because they heard the vocation of the
They have
spells.
drastically picked up their speed.
All right.
They are
Smell us.
very aware that something has happened in that general vicinity.
They can smell our fear.
They might have heard the sound of a spell.
Oh no.
How wide was the corridor outside?
Let's say a dwarf and a half wide. Sounds about right, yeah?
All right. Oh boy. Okay. Let's hope against hope that these fuckers do not do a lot of damage. Greff's gonna move to the corridor and up a little bit so that he can retreat towards the door
No,
if
wait.
needed. What?
I mean, the spell is still there to make it look like not a door.
But every time you
Don't
say
they still have
anything,
to pass that?
They still have to pass an investigation check to see whether it's what is happening there. So for us, they know it's a wall.
my hope.
So you could, I guess, you could ready action attack if they step through the wall.
You described this room as a closet. They're not gonna step
It is a closet,
into
yeah.
the room. They're gonna bump into me.
Do
That
you
is
not
true.
have like a shield that you can hold there, so just in case they bump against the
Shield?
invisible
Who do you
wall?
think you're talking to?
Or just stand there with your back against the door or whatever.
Oh yes,
I don't
please,
know.
please, zombies. Here's my back and exposed neck.
Does that door not have like not a frame, but like a thing that we can just close?
There is a door, yeah. Like, you didn't kick down the door. Adlov did open it.
All right, Greff's
Yeah, so why didn't we just close that fucking door?
Greff's gonna jump.
Because it's a tiny room.
Oh yeah, we can't actually close it once we're all in it. Like from what you have described, it is absolutely impossible to swing a sword in there.
Yes, but you could definitely jab. Kind of. If people get in the box quick enough.
You know what? The DM's giving it to me, so I'm just gonna say it. Yeah, ready action, swing magic blade if Shambler, like, at all starts passing through the magic wall.
Perfect. All right, that's your ready action. Do you want to move? I'm joking. Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna shuffle
Fox.
3 inches to the left.
Fox, what do you want to do?
Okay. I polymorph Aulus into a spider, take the spider, and dunk it in the box. Gently dunk it in the box.
Do you allow transformation into a spider?
Yes, I will be a spider.
Okay.
He said he likes spiders, so he's spider now.
Cool. Spooder. One Spooder has been transformed and placed gently into the box. Or dropped, like, depending on how scared of spiders you are. Dropping into a box of hellfire is my personal favourite, but sure.
Fox has turned into them
spider
before,
in
he
the
doesn't
box.
care.
Yeah, exactly. Anything else you wish to do?
That is a polymorph down. I literally cannot do anything else, so that is pretty much it.
You could get out of the way because you're not a fighter, right? Or a close? No,
Not
you are not
really.
a close combat fighter.
Adlov kind of very, very subtly whispers, like, and she just kind of like whispers in your direction, like, Kaz, Fox. And you look up, you see that she's braced up against like the ceiling best that she can. Like the walls are slightly uneven. It is possible to kind of get further up and against the wall. You can use your companions as like a leverage to climb up. You could give your companions a little bit more room, but not a huge amount. That's the only thing I think I could suggest that's left.
No, let's go with that then. You know what Vox will do? Vox will actually use like one of the wrists, the manacles.
Yeah.
As like a foothold to kind of like prop themselves up.
Yeah.
So that they can be up and out of the way.
Grab it. Yep. Use the manacles in the ceiling to help prop yourself up. No, I'm going to let you have it this round, but if you stay up there, I'm going to make you roll something.
That depends on if people actually follow the plan and get in the fucking box and leave.
All right. Yeah, that's not going to happen. It is now the Shambler's go. They make their way just outside of this illusionary wall. They look a little perplexed to you, Greff, and you can feel their breath coming through this illusionary wall, and it is rancid. It is all kinds of rotting meats and just utter gross. They are understanding that there is movement and sounds on the other side, but they don't know what this is. Is this an illusion? Is this some secret room? Are they just losing their minds? Is this a weird version of Diablo where they can hit the wall and it disappears? We're about
That's
to
the cow
find
level.
out.
Iguatfo.
There's no cow.
It's the this thing looks a little bit weird. Click it, suddenly the wall goes up.
Shit, if only I could polymorph us all into cows.
I think that's seeming, right? It's a shit version of seeming. As you see these creatures, you see one of them, the one that's wearing armor, begin to like make its way along this corridor, but the one that's wearing tattered robes reaches out and puts their hand up towards your face, and their hand passes through the illusionary wall.
Shank.
Shank.
Now, I'm going to argue advantage.
I was very kind in allowing you to even do this with the limited space. Please tell me why this should be an advantage on top of that.
Because I am invisible behind a wall that it doesn't know for certain isn't a wall. It's a zombie, and it was having perplexed, like, hypothetical ideas about a video game that doesn't exist in this world. I think it's kind of distracted.
Sure, why not? Yeah. Screw it. Yes, okay.
Alright. Here we go. 27 to hit.
That definitely hits.
Alright. And it's a 22 slashing damage with a magical sword.
Don't you also have your sneak attack?
Yes.
Because you had advantage?
Yeah, my sneak attack was 1-2-1-2.
Oh, okay, great. So you only did 22 damage.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Thanks for bringing it up.
No worries. As this thing puts its arm through the wall and you basically slash at it, the illusion completely shatters for this one creature, and you see its hands lift, and it will cast. Oh my god, how much of a dick do I want to be?
None.
No, a huge. Why would I not be a huge?
Have you considered 0?
Can I talk to you about my Lord and Savior? Huge dick.
Biggest dick.
You see it lift its hands and smash them together just in front of its face. And you hear this loud shatter as if someone has just hit a glass orb and it's broken into 1,000 pieces around you. I would like all of you to please take a Constitution saving throw. 8.
7.
Oh no, 11?
30, 20.
14.
All right, only the dirty 20 saves.
Oh.
Damn.
How many hit points does a spider have?
Oh no.
Oh, that's going to be bad.
Oh, and it's also polymorph, so even if you had enough hit points to do that, you still have to maintain the spell. It's the concentration. But we'll get to that in a minute, all right? We'll get to that in a minute. All right, this loud, thunderous sound goes off, and those of you who failed, basically everyone except Vox, you take 16 thunder damage. Vox, you take 8.
I'm out.
I didn't throw for Adenloff.
For the record, the spider has 1 HP.
Cunning damage? Whatever it is.
Is that critical? Like the rules in the old edition were, it might be this one as well. If you like do
It
more
just
than
spills
3
over.
times, okay, it just stops.
It just spills over. Yeah.
I'm double down.
Like-
I only had 6
Right.
HP.
Right, yeah.
I've been tortured for weeks or days.
So... Oh god, I really wish I had a fucking tape measure right now.
To measure the level of dick.
That was precisely 16 thunder damage. That's how big the dick was. I personally think that in a 3x3 cube, you can fit at least 2 human beings. Have you seen contortion artists? They are insane. I think that
And Aulus is very slim.
He's very slim. He's
And
very
emaciated.
athletic, and the spider was delicately placed in the box. So, in my opinion, he can come out of spider form, be unconscious, and still be in the box. But he is the box. Like, there is nothing else getting there unless you polymorph another spider in. So, I will not waste that. I just think it's terrible.
According to the written text, it is a chest, not a box.
Okay, apologies.
No, I'm simply making.
Well,
Then it
it's
has
just
the
like a
dome top, right? So even
strangely
more room.
3x3. Like it's a very square chest. I mean, 3 foot is half of a person standing up.
Yeah, like,
You know?
I think it's possible. I mean, it's not easy.
He's probably sitting.
But you would expand to fill the space first. So
Set your
I'm
goals.
gonna go with he's in the box. All right, I will give it. He's in the box.
All right.
What's in the box?
It's Aulus.
It's not Adenlov. As she takes some damage,
Now,
Ooh.
magical resistance. Now that it just gives me advantage, I still take 16. It doesn't do like
it just
half
gives you
off?
advantage.
Okay.
Yeah. Did you roll with advantage?
Just checking. Yeah, I did. I
Oh,
just
okay.
suck.
All right. Oh, yeah, I see it. Yeah.
Shit, you have magical resistance?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Warlock, baby.
That's one of the best feats in the game. By
Wait, is it
Oh.
Warlock or is it from your new transformation?
Snake monster.
Yeah.
Yanti have natural resistance.
So that's the Shambler's go. It is now Ivoris's turn.
Oh no.
I'm going to say the box will just hang around for a little bit, and you don't have to immediately close it. I'm gonna let you guys go with
10
this.
minutes. So as long
okay,
as
then
this
it's
transaction is
perfect.
done in 10 minutes, then yeah.
Great.
That's why I
okay,
told
good. I
Baskin
just
to
didn't
be-
want your box to disappear for some bullshit spell reason. No. It's there. It's great. Great. 10 minutes, perfect. You should be all still alive in 10 minutes' time.
Yeah, I was going to just keep making the boxes, so we have multiple boxes.
Okay.
I don't think there's room for that, though.
Yep,
And
there's a ceiling.
If we have the scrolls and stuff ready in hand,
It's like Tetris.
whoever has them, I could take one from them and begin to cast Enlarge Reduce on somebody to get in this box as well, correct? Okay.
He's taken up basically the whole box. So you wouldn't be able to fit another person in there unless you also reduced him or you turned someone into something small like a spider or a rat or a frog or something.
Okay. All right, he's got to go. Right? Everyone agree? Okay.
Yeah.
Close the box. He's gone. Ivoris sends your name, Aulus. Aulus. Well,
That's the one.
Ivoris sends Aulus to Basket.
Okay. Yep. Okay. Great. I'll deal with that when it becomes Travis's turn.
Bye, Travis. Was nice knowing you.
Bye.
Bye, guys. Next time.
See you next
Thank you for
time.
joining us.
Thanks
I
for joining
turned up,
us.
I was naked, I said something funny and I left.
Seriously, am I gone?
Box gone.
Okay.
No, you can just hit pause.
I don't.
Continue with your
Think-
beat poetry on top of this, please.
Oh, I didn't fucking cast the box this turn, so I don't. Did I do a spell? I haven't done a spell.
Nope, you have done nothing other than close the box.
All right, I
closed the
begin
box and you have
casting
sent it to
another
Baskin.
box.
Yes.
Okay,
Perfect. Turn. Done.
new box created. I'm going to say it's in the same place as the old one. Somewhere
right.
roughly in the middle.
Whew.
Okay, that then makes it Adenlov's turn. She is going to clamber her way. Oh, damn it, she only has one freaking hand. Adenlov kind of like stumbles over the kind of the heads and shoulders of the rest of you, and she kind of like jumps down, so she's standing just kind of next to Greff or just in front of him, and she also has her daggers raised and she's in that I'm ready to attack position. She's using Greff as a form of hiding. She also readies an attack for when this person attacks next. She's hoping that you guys will finish your spells before she has to do anything. All right. It is Tawree.
The zombie guys, like, have they poked their head through yet or not yet? Like,
One of
They're
them
not
has
in
broken
the room, but the mage-looking one has definitely spotted y'all.
can we actually see them through the wall? No.
Yeah. Because you know that the illusion is an illusion. You can just see through it like it's a hologram.
And the mage can for sure.
Yeah, mage can for sure. The other one, not so much. He's like, what are you doing? What is this glitch? What are you doing?
I think Tawree is getting her spoon out and like positioning herself behind Adnalov because Greff is just too tall. And it's just a tiny door. And I think like if I can see him like about to poke his face through the door, she will get the spoon ready and try to slam it into I don't know, his eyes maybe.
Oh, nice. Yes. If the thing decides to step forward, yes. Absolutely, you can definitely like jab over Greff's shoulder.
Not with the spoon side, but with the long side without the.
Okay,
So I have
yeah.
a thing I can push through.
Jab, jab, jab. Okay, we'll say that you're also ready action for in case this thing decides to do something silly. Aulus,
Yes.
I need you to make a death saving throw, please.
I'm going to use an actual dice for this because my luck has been
No.
terrible with No? Okay, I'll use the...
Only one person gets to roll on saves,
All right.
other than me.
Try this.
That's because Roll28 hates him.
Fail.
All right, cool. It wasn't a nat one, so that's.
Hey, Baskin.
I'm one
Baskin.
nat one away from death.
Baskin.
Baskin's just opened this box. There's like a half unconscious, mostly naked fucking.
This guy needs
drow in
mouth
a
to mouth.
box.
Quickly, Baskin.
Baskin doesn't understand the nature of this present from us.
If only people
he is a
started getting in the
cat and-
box.
We're
He
cats.
is a cat, and
Yeah. This is a gift.
he was
for us.
given a present.
Just dumps him out and gets himself in the box.
You have no idea what's going on your side. But one slip to failure. Okay, cool. Greff,
Yes.
what do you want to do, bud?
Oh, I'm murdering the shit out of this mage zombie or mage shambler.
Mombi.
Perfect.
Yeah, so Greff's basically just gonna push against the zombie to give him some swinging space, and then he's just gonna come out like a tornado.
Okay.
I am
love
still invisible with the scarf.
Yes.
Does the shambler see through my invisibility? I'm asking
me
because
check.
I have advantage if he doesn't.
I don't want that.
Does that mean we all cannot see you either?
Yes, but I'm assuming Greff has like been poking you and touching you.
You can physically feel when you go forward to like stab this thing that dunk off the back of Greff. Like you where he's there.
Also, I think the dungeon is probably a little bit dusty, so we keep seeing disturbances and
See it land on his shoulder and then it disappears. You are invisible, unless it can see, has true sight or true vision or whatever the hell you want to call it. Unless they have a specific type of vision to see invisible things, you are invisible.
Yeah. All right, then I'm rolling with advantage again as I go out like a madman.
22.
whirlwind.
26 to hit.
Yep, that hits.
26 slashing damage. Again, 2 ones on my. And the rest of the attack.
This thing kind of like stumbles back a little bit as you manage to like slash, like get actually a good slash this time, just straight across the chest. You see parts of its like robe just fall to the floor like so much confetti. It doesn't bleed, it's just...
Yeah.
what it is.
Greff is gonna step out with a hard lunge with a magical sword again.
Okay.
23 to hit.
Yep, that hits.
9 slashing damage.
Nice.
These have been some ass rolls.
Yeah, it looks, still looks pretty undead.
Yep. And then I am going to bonus action Orkin Carved.
Okay. I've forgotten you. Yes.
I'm dual wielding long swords.
Yes, I remember, yeah. I'll let you have 2 swords. This is my own fault.
Jesus Christ. 13 to hit.
That fails.
Yeah, that's so. These were some really bad rolls on my behalf.
So you have stepped out into the corridor?
Yeah.
Cool. You haven't broken the illusion for the melee-based one because it can't see you. It has no idea what's going on. Just turned back, seeing its friend casting magic, as far as it's concerned, seems to be hurting itself.
Action surge.
You may even sense a slight chuckle from the one down the corridor.
Ooh.
Okay. That being your go.
No.
Vox. Greff still going?
Action surge.
Ah, you son of a bitch.
Now,
Continue.
I won't be able to get another sneak attack in because those are them rules. So, there we go. 22 to hit.
Oh no, not
That
the silent
hits.
one.
That's
Oh,
11
no.
slashing damage.
Yes, that goes through.
And 24 to hit.
That also hits.
16 slashing damage.
How do you want to butcher this one?
So, I like to imagine that Greff, like, kind of kicked and slashed as the first attack, and then he did, like, a good, like lunge attack to, like, get himself out of the room. At that point, I imagine that the creature was kind of up against the wall, so Greff just kind of, like, just starts slashing it, and its back is against the wall, and he just slashes twice very hard across the chest, and it just slumps down as, like, too much of its internal structure has just been damaged beyond repair.
So kind of, is it dead and loving it when like they blow themselves up in bits of them and they're just like, where's my car, but they can't move because there's only like bits and pieces of them? I think it's dead and loving it.
Yes, something like
I remember
that.
which one it is. It's one of them. All right, cool. Yeah, you have butchered this thing into pieces. It is no longer standing. All right. Is that your go over now?
Yes. Greff is going to block the corridor. So if the creature comes up to him, he's just going to bump it.
Yeah, that is definitely doable.
Yeah.
You just hear this kind of like, of surprise, and from Adolov, she just sees this thing disappear before this butcher itself. All right, cool. Now it's the Shamblers? No, now it's Vox's go.
Hi.
Hi, what do you want to do?
That's $1 million question. Alright, who's getting in next?
Ivoris will suggest
In the box?
to Tawree.
Yeah.
I'm so useless.
No.
Do we already have a box? Did you make
Yeah.
one?
Yeah.
From next, some sort of like, from on the... are you still up on the ceiling?
Yeah.
Okay. From the doorway, you hear, I think you better send Greff and Tawree next.
Greff?
Wherever Greff has gotten to.
Greff's kind of a front line right now. I don't know if that's really the best target.
Wait, wasn't Adnalov at the door with me?
Admiral or Tawree, one of you two. Which one am I doing?
I guess I'm a little bit useless.
Too many
Maybe
front line,
not.
very confined space. Alright, you're getting in the box next.
Yeah. Okay.
You're 10 times more useful than me.
He turned up naked! He didn't bring a weapon! Well, he did, but that's a completely different story.
Alright.
I'm getting in the box.
Yep, I will polymorph Tawree into another spider.
Perfect.
Could have polymorphed me into a bunny. Could have played like which one is the real one with Otrup.
Looks exactly like Otrup.
Duplicate Otrup. The only difference is you're more like just like black fur rather than like shadows and darkness.
You hear Greff from the corridor. You definitely hear Adlov just calling out for you. It's like, Greff.
You get in the box.
No, Greff, you have to leave.
You have to get in the box. I'm fighting.
She turns and looks up at Vox like,
I'm not disagreeing
she's
with
got
him.
like shrugging her shoulders. Greff, he can make you smaller, and then I can get in the box with you as well.
Okay, well then how about you guys start shrinking your fucking selves and get in there, goddammit.
Greff, where the bloody hell are you?
All right,
you go.
fight.
Yeah, okay. Greff agrees to the plan.
Okay.
You're
three
invincible.
of
We
them
can't
are
like
secret
cast a
box.
spell on you unless you like, like he can't.
We can't see you
If
target you with
decline
anything.
This, we can't
Wait.
force spell
Yeah.
cast you.
What's the rule on the scarf? How does it disenchant itself? Like, how do I turn it off?
Is it like a word or?
Yeah, Adlov would have explained. You just have to say a word.
Yeah, okay.
Like she wouldn't have left you completely in the dark on how to use the scarf. Yeah.
Right, but Greff's gonna say the word Smoopy, which turns off the scarf.
It is a word that she would never say. You're not wrong. But I don't like it.
It's Shapoopy.
She's a poopy.
Okay. All right. Cool.
One
All
question
right.
for you, V.
Yeah.
Is there a way that Vox can like cover the top of the box so as to protect Lil Spooter? Like Vox will get out of the way when someone else needs to climb in, but like cover the box so that there's no like.
It said in the text that as soon as the lid closes, it gets sent away.
Without closing the box, more like Vox like using their body as a shield sort of thing.
Oh,
You want to be able to protect the spider in the box.
meat
yes.
shield.
You want to meet shield.
I already murdered the mage. There's just a warrior monster left, so it shouldn't be able to like AoE us again.
You're making a lot of
actually gonna-
assumptions.
I'm actually going to take us out of combat because the idea that you have this shambler walking backwards and forwards, not knowing what the fuck just happened. Just like peering in, like trying to, you see it like leaning up against the wall, but it's in the wrong place and it doesn't know what it's doing. The idea of this thing fucking itself
You
up and
know what
down.
it might have looked like? It might have looked like he accidentally got himself with his own shatter.
Yeah. Yes. So I like that it's doing that, and you were all just very quietly inside the cell. So yeah, I'm gonna take us out of combat so you can move around and do what you want at will.
Okay.
That's fine. As long as it's within this tiny cell.
We all leave.
Okay, so In the box goes the spider, one Adolov who looks kind of perturbed mildly by a spider. And what are you doing to Greff?
You guys would... it's better if I actually go.
But you're out of... No, wait.
I'm out of polymorphs, and I can wild shape myself, and then when I get on the other side, I can heal Aulus.
Yep.
Who will be left here? It's
You
gonna
three.
Be the three of us.
It would be Greff, Ivoris, and Adnilov.
Can I have you make one more death save, please?
Oh, thank God. I mean, I can't see those numbers.
Yeah, we can't see those numbers. It's fine.
Okay. Meta question.
I need to go.
Did you already polymorph somebody?
Yeah, Tawree's a spider.
Yeah.
Fudge. No, she's cat person, so Tawree's...
It's a spider, so tiny. It's absolutely fine.
I was thinking character sizes. Yeah, I just need to be reduced. I'll get in the fucking box.
So we're holding the box on my turn. We're not sending it yet. Okay.
It's gonna be Greff, Tawree, and...
Adnilov, yeah.
Adnilov.
Yeah. I think if we can say that Aulus can fit in the box, Adnilov is quite small even for a goblin. Greff would be shrunk down to something like 2 and a bit feet.
Mm-hmm.
So it would be physically awkward, but a spider could also fit in there. I would say that they can do that. It's just not comfortable.
Okay, let's go with that then, as long as somebody on the other side starts rolling fucking medicine checks.
Yep.
Like right now, because Travis is making a face.
Travis is doing a look, but I'm ignoring that roll, bud.
Yeah. Like, I'm 100% on board with this plan.
Okay, great, we're doing it right now. We go.
Right. Boom. 3 more people are sent. On the other side, Tawree, you are very easily able to basically run into whatever you want and free yourself from being a spider. Like, you could just, like, rub up against anybody's blade and, like, because they are very confined in this tiny room. And it's that really awkward, like, oh, we just had an argument. No, and this is, get up, Greff. Like, it's a very awkwardly tight box. You could just, so they can jump out perfectly fine. Greff, you stay small until Vox casts another concentration spell or whatever it is that they end up doing. And you pop out the other side. You see that Baskin is standing in this kind of room, and he has you can see he's standing inside like the captain's cabin, and you can see that there is someone that is rushing back into the room, and they seem to be carrying medical supplies. There is the 3 of you, and there is a unconscious but tastefully covered drow named Aulus laying on the floor, who seems to be getting paler and paler and sicker and sicker. You can see the blood is pooling underneath him. He is at death's door. All right.
I'm glad I whispered that roll to you.
Yeah. Vox and Ivoris.
Yep.
Sorry, I'm really struggling with names today.
And Adnilov.
Fox and Ivoris. Adnilov went with Greff. She was very awkward in the box with Greff.
Okay.
It was like physically awkward for both of them. It's just you 2 left.
Okay, let's get the fuck out of
Ivoris,
here.
I'm assuming you're casting another box.
Yes.
And I assume that Vox, what are you doing to make him fit in the box?
The reduce thing.
Perfect. At the same point, Greff, your body just shoots up twice the size, and it's a little disconcerting. Luckily, you'd gotten out by the box by that point. So we have a smaller version of Ral, who looks a bit lower like a kitty. And then Vox, you are turning into...
Also Spooter.
Also a Spooter. Into the box. It's very easy to close the lid behind you, and like half a second later, boof. I'm going to roll a medicine check.
I have a healer's kit which stabilizes a creature.
Okay, then you can roll that.
There's no roll.
Ignore the roll that I just rolled.
There is no roll.
Oh, is this like a proper healer's kit?
Yes.
Because most healer's kits you have to roll.
Nope. This kit is leather pouch containing bandages, salves, and spits. The kit has 10 uses. As an action, you can spend 1 use of the kit to stabilize a creature that has 0 hit points without needing to make a medicine check.
Does he regain any hit points?
No, he's just stabilized.
Okay.
For 1d4
You do
hours,
not
you sleeping.
slip in. Yeah, if you would like to roll either one of you get to roll a d4. I do not mind.
Go ahead, Travis.
It's your character.
Wait, what's the D4 for? I'm still missing that.
How many hours you're unconscious?
So, you guys, I rolled a critical failure for my death save, and then I rolled the 4.
I ignored it.
Yeah, ignore that. I have killed myself almost. Very close.
I was like, stop rolling, Travis. So, Greff, you managed to apply this healing kit to Aulus. You managed to staunch the flow just enough. He still looks really peaky, and he remains unconscious for 4 hours unless someone wishes to apply some sort of healing to him. You are all in the captain's cabin of the ship that Ivoris has. That Baskin has. And Baskin looks very confused when he pulls this kitten-sized Ivoris out of the box and sets him down.
For flavor, I'm a jumping spider, and I just leap out and then midair turn back into my normal form.
Normal size me now, please.
Yes, I will drop the concentration.
Okay.
Baskin looks at
all
all
right,
of
that
you
was super unpleasant. Is he alive or is he
highly
dead?
confused.
I think everybody made it fine. I think we're good.
Everybody's in one piece?
I'm not fine. Where are we? What is this place? Everything's moving.
It's a boat, Tawree.
Yes,
Oh my God.
Sorry, yes. Baskin feels just as confused and looks very confusedly at Ivoris.
Hey, Baskin, do you remember me? We met once. You fed me really good CC.
Baskin remembers.
Technically, we met twice. You threw me out the first time.
Greff is Ivoris's friend. Ivoris,
Hey.
before I threw everyone over for being stowaways.
Oh.
Yeah, the capital is under attack. This is Aulus. He was going to be used to kill Elmater. And so we had to get him out.
Okay.
Is everything okay?
Baskin is fine, just a little confused.
Yeah, sorry.
It's fine. Baskin suggests everybody stays here.
Where are we?
We're just outside of Shovana.
Okay.
We were going into port to get more supplies for Baskin's ship. Is Baskin headed towards Discora now?
Well, I guess we need to discuss that. You can go take care of what you need to take care of, and we'll stay hidden here. And
Good.
I'll see you shortly, and we'll figure out what we need to do and see if you're able to help us.
Of course. Just tell Baskin what you need from him. He again looks very just confusedly, just everyone mostly looking at the very naked guy on the floor. Like, this is a very unusual thing to get in a box.
Ivoris gives Baskin a hug, and Baskin can tell that the situation they just came out of was pretty tense.
Yeah. He gives you a hug, and as he lets go, he kind of like rubs your shoulders just a little bit, and then he leaves the room. He takes the tabaxi healer that turned up. He just takes him out, and you can hear him very quickly in their native just telling him to say nothing to anyone or risk walking the plank or equivalents thereof in Baskin speak. Y'all have the room.
Tawree is definitely hogging a window.
So if I spend 1 minute interacting with another creature outside of combat, do I have to be conscious to do so if someone's using a medical kit on me?
Yes, you have to be conscious.
Okay.
I know what you're referring to, and yeah, you have to be conscious.
I'll go back to being unconscious.
Thank you.
I have healing abilities without spending. No, I don't actually.
You don't want to spend the points on me.
Well, hold on. No, I don't think.
You'll be fine.
I'm reading.
I'm crying.
I feel like we might want to wake him. if we're about to port in Sylvana and if your plan is to go back to Discora, he may not wish to leave.
I can get him up if Ivoris here can't do it.
We just need him conscious, and if he becomes too much of a nuisance, we can
knock his ass out again.
Problem. Yes, that's exactly what I was referring to.
Okay, works for me. Hey, Aulus, wake the fuck up. Healing word. Healing word. It's wake the fuck up.
Healing word.
That's beautiful. Does that put me at 1 hit point or?
Yeah.
Let's see.
It's a rolled, right?
You gain 7 HP.
Thank you for rolling. I appreciate that. That puts me up higher than when we started this.
Well, arguably, it puts you right back where you were with the spider form.
That's very true. Well,
morning, sunshine.
This isn't the set. How did we? What? You're here. Who are you?
Who are you pointing at?
He's pointing kind of across the room from like person to person, just a bit. Like, where am I?
You would only recognize Adnalov, Greff, Ivoris. The other two here, the lizard folk and the other tabaxi. Tabaxi looks a bit like a lion. You don't recognize either of those.
Yeah, that's kind of the questionnaire of just circle, just like incoherent. So I don't know them. I'm still naked. Sort of. I mean, this is a nice covering, but it's kind of cold in here. Doesn't reflect on me normally.
You can wear it until you have new clothes.
They were probably in the same place I was being held. Presumably all my gear is still there. But did you get it by any chance?
No. Yeah, no, we kind of encountered some issues, the shambling things. We kind of just
yeah, we didn't count on the explosive magic. Sure, that's the reason why we didn't pick up your stuff.
I just remember you appearing, you poked me, and then I woke up here.
Yeah. Hi, we met before, by the way. Sorry, I look a little different. And just for flavor, I think Vox just does like half of their face kind of does like a ripply effect and goes back to being what Morrow looked like, and then goes back to the lizard folk.
That is awesome.
Hey.
Didn't I get new equipment?
Okay.
Sorry, I think I got new. Did I get a new equipment or just something? Because I would have spares then if I got entire equipment.
Oh, because you got new armor.
Yeah, I think you got new armor. You got an upgrade to your wooden spoon, and you got armor. So I think you would have a spare set of something. If it's magical, it would fit him. Actually, no, you two are roughly the same height. One's a tabaxi and one's a drow. It wouldn't fit perfectly, but yeah,
I will give him the spare set. My spares.
I'll gladly take your hand-me-downs. Thank you, friend. You are?
My name is Tawree.
Aulus.
I don't think we've met. Yes.
I don't feel like we've met either, and I appreciate you giving me clothing, certainly.
You're welcome. Just get yourself dressed up because you don't look good.
Master has given Aulus a sock. Aulus is free.
Adnalov does her best to turn her back while you change. She has no interest in this whatsoever.
I take 60 seconds to change and observe that individual. Can I learn anything?
Which individual do you wish to observe?
The one turning their back.
Oh, okay.
Adnalov?
Yeah. You know Aulus.
But I would like to learn a piece of history or
so would you like to tell people what it is that you're using?
I'm an insightful manipulator, and if I interact with someone outside of combat for a minute, I can learn a bit about them. Sometimes I can learn things that are like super meta, like if I'm more smart than them in intelligence, more wisdomatic, or more charisma, or if their class levels are higher than mine or lower, or I can possibly learn something about their history or personal traits if they have any personality traits.
I think I see Travis's weird gaze over at Adnalov, and I'm like, if you're done changing, I'm trying to distract him. If you're done changing, can I maybe have my cloak back?
It actually is quite nice, but yes, I've kept it warm for you.
Okay,
he's putting on the cloak. He's just staring intently at Adnalov, the woman who's missing a hand. What do you... I will let it be your choice. I am happy with giving you any of those questions.
I would like to learn a piece of history or personality trait, whichever seems most relevant. From seeing them turning around pensively, trying not to stare at Aulus changing.
Unrelated, like, kind of meta, fourth wall breaking. Travis, do you remember who Adolov is?
I have a hand-me-down from them.
Oh. Yes. Okay, so
Get
you do
here.
remember them. All right, fantastic.
Yeah, they're wonderful.
Yeah, in the manner in which they quickly turn as if they're a little bit embarrassed, and you two clearly have a interesting history and relationship between you, but the way she quickly turns and just deliberately isn't looking at you, it's more for her than it is for you. And it's something that she's clearly done before. You get the feeling that she has a brother or she has a sibling, and she's very close to them, but you know the lifestyle that she lives because you live a very similar one. You know that she's a spy from just interacting with her and the reason you had to, kill her. Yeah, you have a feeling that she has a sibling or a family member that she is close to but doesn't speak with because the nature of the existence that you have.
Thank you for that delightful secret that I will
You're welcome.
Gobble and just get back to the conversation. So you rescued me. I presume you came just for me as I don't see anyone else here.
Were we supposed to be?
No, I wasn't expecting rescue. I was serving penance for my own failures.
Well, then the gods saw fit to do otherwise. At least mine did. I can't really talk about yours.
What happened? How did you get made?
Adolf raises her actual hand. Like, she kind of looks a little guilty and then again puts her hand down and just gestures to Aulus.
That's the short version. I can elaborate if you care.
Please. If I don't know if Greff knows this, but I know this. If I understand correctly, Adolov sacrificed her hand to keep your secret safe.
Yes, and I
And you fucked it up?
No, he didn't. Like I said, he saved us when Kels was going to kill Baracus. He made it so that he could escape, and so could I.
Aulus hangs his head a bit in shame.
Baracus is worth more than either of us right now. Well, he was. He's safe. He's making it to where he needs to go, Aulus.
This tipped my hand, and this information was used against me, along with someone I care about. And in short...
Adolov does a head tilt, and she looks at you as if she's also studying you.
Counter. Whose intelligence score is higher? Nah, she's got it. That's okay. Mine's pretty low. Mine's 10.
Yeah.
But he takes the time to do it while he's talking, and then he realizes that his is lower, and he's like, just nod. Cool guy nod.
Starts stonewalling so she doesn't realize she's smarter.
Yeah,
Wait, I wanted to know she's better than me. Fuck.
Yeah, I more or less had to. I was revealed at that point and tortured for a few days. I was kept alive, thankfully. The fool thought I was worth more than I am, which joke's on her. But really, the important thing here to take away from all of this is that I was caught, and this is all largely my fault. I feel like this is perhaps divine punishment of sorts for letting Kels get to as much power as she has.
Greff's looking at Adolov. How is she receiving this information? Does he look agreeable?
She looks... Take an insight check. Fuck you.
All right.
I'm not just giving this to you. You don't have that ability.
No, but because Adolov hides a lot of shit from Greff, and Greff wouldn't be surprised if she would just back up a bullshit story. So, yeah. No! Natural 1, fuck off.
So cute.
You can't read her face whatsoever. She's just still has that slight head tilt as if she's assessing him, but you can't really pick up what her thoughts or her feelings are on what he's saying, whether she believes it or not.
We share a special bond.
Vox actually looks kind of perturbed as Aulus is talking about all this, and just like kind of just walks over to Aulus and grabs both of your hands in theirs, if you allow it anyways.
He squeezes slightly.
And Vox actually drops their appearance so that they look like their natural changeling form, which, description for you, Travis, is basically like a featureless gray humanoid form.
His eyes get a bit wider, but he still maintains the grip.
Never blame yourself for other people's natures. They will be who they are.
I don't blame myself for the nature of others. I blame myself for their power increasing over time when they could have maybe not gone down such a path. My own actions are those which I bear responsibility for. But thank you.
There's kind of like a slight smile to their face. At least from what you can tell, the mouth's kind of a little bit a flat line more than anything.
As far as I understand, Aulus, you wouldn't have been able to kill her anyway.
It's possible, but you don't know if you don't try. I do have a plan.
Yeah?
I think I have a plan. I've been away for quite a while, and 6 days, maybe 10, maybe 20, probably
5.
6.
It's 5.
It could have been a month, you know.
It's definitely 5.
5 days. They were rather hellish, and I think that you and I, should lead the assembly in a fight against the eclipse.
Who is he talking to?
He's talking to Adnilov. Eye contact. No longer operating from the shadows, stepping out and doing something for the world instead of petty inside fighting. I think we can do this.
I don't know that I 100% trust you, Aulus.
Can I tell you a secret? And would that give you my trust? Or that would that give you trust in me, I guess? I'm sorry, I'm still woozy. I was stuffed into a box, I think.
Yes, that was rather awkward, and she glances over at Greff.
Greff does not make her gaze.
She walks over, and she reaches up, and she puts one hand on your wrist, and she presses down very hard with 2 of her fingers so she can feel your pulse. And she just stares up at you, and she says, "Fine. What?"
I'm backing away from this.
We need to find other relics in the possession. I am not important in this scheme. I am no more important than any commoner, except that I have the ability to fight. I do not believe myself to be of actual value to Kells, despite what she may think.
You have a link with Ilmater.
No.
It means you're valuable to her.
I do not have a link.
Okay.
I mean, I pray, but I never hear anything back. I'm very upset about this. My faith is real, but I don't have any divine abilities and never have. It's not known to many. And in fact, I call myself a paladin, but I am perhaps not in touch as other paladins who share the same title. Or in fact, all paladins or those of the faith.
Wait, you were never a paladin?
I've always been a paladin, but I just have not had certain abilities that other paladins have.
No, buddy. You told me that you had lost your link with Ilmater. Were you lying to me?
When we were talking,
Were you lying to him?
It was
like
was
you
flirtatious.
can feel her hand really tightly on your wrist now.
Yes, I had lied to you.
Was it all a lie?
No, it was not all a lie. Just that one part of the web of truths, that particular web was not, it was unfounded because it has been a large part of me. It is almost entirely true. I have lost a lot of my, what does that roll sound? Cool.
That was
the sound of Greff just being betrayed. Cassie.
So could you or could you not have been used to kill Ilmater? Or did we
Absolutely not. That's preposterous. No. That's what I'm trying to say here in utter truth and sincerity.
Yeah,
and that the real threats that we must face together, or separately but together as a united front, but working in our own separate ways, would be the relics.
Are the dragons going to be able to kill her?
There are two of them.
I don't know.
Okay.
Adenov steps away and she just sits down at the table. Like she climbs up onto whatever chair is roughly nearest height to her, and she just sits at the table with like her head resting on her hand.
Hey, B?
Yeah.
A little back of the head conversation here.
Yeah.
Kaz goes back to being Vox for the sake of possibly scrying issues.
Yes.
But back of the head conversation, just I don't suppose you two can confirm or deny whether or not any of that's true, because I was under the impression he was absolutely one of the ones. Can you sense a divine connection or something that Ilmater just happens to like him but just never returns his calls?
Yeah, you know that kind of thing where, like, there's a person you're really good colleagues with them, and they keep trying to invite you out to dinner, and you're like, I'm not really interested.
Right,
like,
right.
Ilmater says he's like a really nice guy and all, but just not really his cup of tea.
Okay, so if he dies to the whole ritual thing, is that going to work against Ilmater?
Nope. But it will completely screw up whatever other relics and whatever other spells and whatever other components it is that Chaos will be using to cast that spell. So he would in a way just be destroying the spell.
Wait, so we actually should have left his ass there, is what you're telling me?
I wouldn't necessarily say that. But he probably does have information that is helpful to our cause.
Okay, got it. All right.
His faith is real. But other aspects of him aren't. If your friend takes him up on his offer, she must be cautious. But then so must he, with her.
Oh, I don't like the way you phrased that. Okay. Okay, great. All right. In that case, then, Vox just... It seems like he was zoning out for a moment and just looks up and is like, all right, well, I mean, yeah, you're definitely not usable in terms of killing Ilmater, it seems like.
That's what I just said. Yes, thank you for agreeing with me. I appreciate your agreeance. You're very nice in that way.
Thank you. I was more trying to confirm whether or not you were full of shit, since we literally just covered the fact that you were in fact lying.
No, you just saved my life, so I'm trying to be honest with you, because that's what people do as returning of favors. And also, we really need to be having the conversation about the other relics in their possession, like the Gauntlet of Torm.
Okay, so that's a conversation and a half.
Yes, but first let's establish the we're on the same page, and we all think that we should work together and maybe not fight from the shadows and do this whole cloak and dagger thing that I've been trying to do for so long, because my cover's blown, and honestly, roguish as my methods may be, I really think that the time for hiding is gone.
Well, I agree 100%. I think all cloaks and daggers, all these hidden things, I think it's always mostly a waste. Straight up confrontations, speaking your mind and actions are what do things. And hiding yourself away often just leaves people unsure if you existed in the first place. A resistance movement can't work underground because nobody knows it's there.
That's exactly how resistance movements work, Greff.
Okay, so...
I have a proposal, because I think there is, at least in my mind, a way that we can accomplish all the above. We already know that there's a whole meeting thing going on because we're not the only ones having issues. And I would like to think that everybody in this room here is capable in some way or another. Tawree, I don't know what your plan is, so I can't speak for you personally, especially since your kids are kind of, very far away right now doing their whole thing. But
I'm trying to help. I'm just trying to help you and get a sense of where the dragons are, and how much strength I need to. Well, that's my thing.
Ortrip kind of leans back, and you see them put their little paws together best that they can.
Evil plotting.
yes.
I give Ortrip a little head pat.
Amongst company, he doesn't look like he's enjoying it, but you feel that little quiver in return.
Why don't we, because obviously we can't really stay here. We're kind of in a whole lot of trouble, and the longer we're in range for them to find us, they can easily scry the rest of yous. Very easily at this point. Why don't we...
y'all would know that Baskin, under Ivoris's ideas, got the boat protected from scrying. This is as a protected area as you're ever going to get.
Forgot about that part. So we're actually safe on the boat. We need to stay on the boat then. Why don't we take the boat and go up to the Algath Isles where that whole meeting thing is going on? Because there's probably a whole lot smarter people over there that can probably tell us where we can use our abilities instead of trying to do whatever half-ass shit we've been trying to do here.
I can tell you where to go. I have your attention. Okay. You want to know where the spells are being performed, yes? Or do you have that information?
No.
Adnilov actually looks up and looks over at you.
Some head shaking.
That's not what we were talking about, but yes.
Do we have a deal?
What? Why are you making deals? If you have information that can save the world, why does it have to be some deal? Why don't you just give good people the good information?
I approach him and put my hands over his mouth if I can. Say, it's called calling my bluff. Don't do that. Shut up. I'm trying to get a good thing to happen here, and you're messing it up. Come on.
Just tell us the things.
You tell us the things and I'll consider it.
Mouth clarity.
I would like all of you to please make a history check.
Ooh. All right, me and my plus 0.
Easy.
I'm gonna say I don't think I have anything.
Oh, shit.
Why?
Well. How are the turntables?
Oh my god. Aulus, you too. Because you may be able to direct them to the place. This is where this comes in. Okay, let's do this. Aulus, what did you get?
Natural 1.
Yep, you don't know where that is. Tawree, what did you get?
17.
You have at least heard of it.
Which is weird for an isolated town.
You have heard of the Mouth of Clarity. It has a very deep connection to chaotic magic. It's the kind of the magic of the wilds, just way back when. So you would have heard of it in old folk stories, but not really nothing concrete. Vox, what did you get?
10.
Nope, not a clue. And Ivoris?
10.
Nope, not a
Damn
clue.
it.
Greff?
Twinsies.
Greff got 22.
Okay.
Smirk, smile, engaged.
The more important part of that is the nat 20, otherwise you'd get shit. Mama Greff once told you tales long ago about a place called the Mouth of Clarity. It is a place, an island far to the south. So cold. Sands black as onyx. There was a volcano on this island and 2 lakes. It was to the south of Kino. And much like the stories and folk stories that Tawree would know from, tales told around the campfire, this place is a place of deep old magics, chaotic magics. magics from before the time when there was a price. It was random. This is one of the more magical places on Bikram. Much like there are very significant magical places around that often have onyx tables, so does this place. A great many rituals were carried out there over the centuries, the millennia, many, many millennia ago. And I can show you on the map where that is.
Is it going to be on the map with the mime on it?
No.
Oh, I see where you're talking about. Oh, I remember, because when I was making Aron's backstory, you were like, don't touch that fucking island.
Yep.
I remember now.
All right. I'm dropping it into the Kino chat for the Discord. Travis, on the map that I sent you, the island that is south of Kino, the one that has a strip of black sand on it and has a volcano and 2 different lakes, that's where it is.
The one I don't know where it is. Got it.
Yes. You don't know where that is, but Greff does, and it's up to him if eventually he'll tell you, but I wanted you to know where it was.
My character is, by the way, like, he doesn't let anything slip that he doesn't know that. He plays it off very confidently as he says it, very smooth. And then the natural one, like,
you can
no quiver.
do that, but I think literally nobody trusts you.
I've been pretty honest.
Okay, it makes sense that Tawree would know something because Fergus Haven is very close to that.
Yeah, like, it's nearish by. There would be tales of it. Like, especially in places that deal with a lot of, like, wild magics, or deals a lot with the wild. This place would just kind of be known,
I have notes in somewhere about, hang on, what's the name? A goddess named Krutznitstra.
Oh, yeah. That's goddess of wild creation. Yeah. That's the one that your kids are linked up to.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you learn about, or at least Greff, you would know where this, or at least have heard of, maybe Mama Greff was right, but you think it's an island south of Kino with 2 lakes. It's very cold, and a black sand beach with a volcano.
We have stories about that location in Discora.
You do?
It's in Discora.
Yeah, it's the place where magic not isn't real, but it's not our magic. It's not real magic. It's old magic. Magic before magic was really made magic. It's wooden planks. It's unmade. It's not ready. Yeah,
it's wild magic.
Yes. I think that's what Mom used to call it. I think that's what Mama used to call it. Neil, use a later take.
Please. That's where she's performing these spells.
Yes. And up until about 2 minutes ago, I had your trust. And the only reason you would consider not trusting me is because I've given you information which is highly against my own interests. So you should be able to trust what I'm telling you, because I would have no reason to make you not trust me if I was trying to trick you. There is more.
She nods.
So there is a difficulty right now in acquiring alchemist stones. The things are tough to find, but there are a couple of webs of creation remaining. However, the people connected to the gods are being held in 2 places that I'm aware of. And this is some of the information that I was not really able to get out before getting in, I guess. A meeting I was in is kind of where I picked up some of this, but one of the places is in the deepest desert, and another is in a mountain range northwest of the capital. I've been trying to get this information to the assembly, but again, we can do better.
I'm pretty sure the desert one we already took care of.
What?
Yeah, we had business in... What was the desert called again? Ivoris?
Of Tissaramu?
The wastes of Tissaramu.
Does this have anything to do with the drop of sunlight?
No.
The what?
The drop of sunlight, the Lathander? relic?
It's a relic of Lysander. No, it has nothing to do with that.
Because that's also in the process of missing right now, and Kells was quite upset about it. Baracus mentioned that in a meeting a couple of days ago.
I remember. Anything else? What about this place north? Any other information you have other than the mountain range? It's rather large, Aulus.
Well, northwest, there was also mention of traveling with a well-armed convoy to treat with leaders of Vale.
Goliath place.
Yeah. They wanted a show of strength, and, that's what the attempt is going to be, if it hasn't already taken place.
Same mountain range. Might be a good starting point. Aulus, I think you and I ought to give these four some room to talk over everything.
I would agree. I can see the wisdom in it. I would once again just repeat to you all that up until I gave you privileged information which should not leave this room, you had no reason not to trust me, and in fact, I was someone you went through great efforts to rescue. Because I had value in your eyes.
Because we thought you were someone, Aulus.
And by the way, which way's out of the room? I don't want to walk into a closet.
For goodness sake. Aulus will just kind of grab you by the waist and just literally propel you just out of the same door that the Baskin and the healer Tabaxi came through.
Perfect. Because I entered in a box.
Well.
I hate when people do the song and dance type bullshit like that. Just fucking spit it out.
It's his style. Don't hold it against him.
I wouldn't, except for the part where I literally had two voices in the back of my head telling me that he's full of shit. And information. So it's a little hard to tell which is which coming out of his mouth, because he kept running it. Sorry, my personality changes a little when I go into different forms like this, so excuse me if I get a little aggressive now.
I did declare that I was full of shit.
It's fine. I like this version. Sounds like we might get well along in a bar.
Sorry.
Still not going to happen, but okay.
You don't knock until you tried it with me. So, they have two places where they were keeping prisoners. 3 places, apparently. The capital, and we didn't exactly clear that out. The desert, well, that's a smoldering hole now with a giant collapsed mountain in the middle of it, so fuck them. And then the mountains itself.
27 to eavesdrop.
We've already gotten rid of the alchemist stone, but they still have webs. We've done so much, but there's still more work to be done.
Until this is all over with, there's always going to be more work. Question is what it is that we want to do, and whether or not we think that his information is really good.
And if we have the power to do it in the first place, we can know about all of the things in the world, and if we don't have the power to stop them, it's rather useless information.
I agree.
What are we all, us 4, gonna do the whole thing by ourselves?
That's why I was suggesting maybe it best if we join up with the rest of the people up north. At least then we have a chain of command. We have people that know what they're doing. They probably have a better idea of the situation as a whole. And I mean, if Baraxis is heading up there, at least we have a kind of a letter of introduction being like, hey, these chuckle fucks kind of did some shit like saving me. So, I mean, at least we have someone to vouch for us. I mean, I don't know. That's just, I'm not really one for coming up with the greatest plans and executing. I'm not a leader. It's not my thing.
I think while everyone's having a chat, like Tawree is just looking around the room and probably finding like I imagine since it's a ship, they probably have a map on the wall or something and just trying to look for all the places because she does not have a scope of the map. It's just trying to find the places that have been mentioned.
Yeah, like you absolutely would come across a map. It's like I'm going to say it's like a really crude version of the map that you can actually see in our chat right now. So it has like most of these places filled in, but some of it is missing. Like not everything is labeled appropriately, but yeah, you can see where the old Cathars and the things they're talking about there. Shilvana, Waste of Tisimu is just labeled Waste of Tisimu. There's no like here's Shilvana or here's like Symphona or like here's the forge. There's none of that written on there. It's just very crudely written down, and you can see this kind of island at the south. You see like at least one big island to the south of Kino, so you know it's there. Yeah, that's what you see looking around. So you can vaguely make sense of where they're talking about.
Tawree is tracing along the lines. It's like, oh, look, this is where my village was at.
Yeah. You can do that. You can plot your way around, like, absolutely.
Oh, yeah, I pricked the map with my nail a little bit.
Oh, no. Greff just feels super bad when you say, this is where my village was. It's like, oh, right.
Oh, no.
I swear it's still there. I look after some hometowns.
Oh, just not mine. I gotcha.
Nope.
Gotcha.
Fuck empty shallows.
Oh.
Hey, Mama Greff's farm is still there.
You
She's very angry
threatened
about
to
it.
foreclose on her. You have the fantasy bank sending fantasy bailiffs to close down my fantasy farm. You take everything away from me.
Aethor, it's fine. The farm is protected by goat Greff. You're fine.
Also, they're playing fantasy football in their spare time.
Oh,
The goats will protect the
fucking
farmstead, don't you worry.
Fucking hell,
Good.
that's funny. Yes, you know roughly where they're talking about.
Okay.
It sounds like the things that we need to do are very spread out. At least if I am pinpointing the places on this map correctly.
The way I'm seeing it, there's three options. Yeah, we got the island far as fuck to the south. Got the mountain by the capital. I'm not fancying going back to the capital right now, considering there's kind of dragons and undead and that whole shit.
Do we know what to do at the island in the south in order to stop them from using it?
No fucking clue.
We'd have to find their webs and steal them, like we stole the alchemist zone.
Do you think they would be keeping
Your
them
plan
there?
just to steal everything under the sun that belongs to Kells?
If Kells wasn't such a shithead, I maybe wouldn't have to steal all their shit.
What happened to no cloak and dagger stuff, Greff? What
Yeah,
happened?
Greff. Sorry, I'm not here. Damn it.
I'm not running an entire, army empire. I'm a single human pretending to be a Goliath. There's a limit to what I can do by myself.
I agree. That's why cloak and dagger stuff can be good.
And by myself, with, of course, help from my friends, we have managed to do a lot of shit.
What if we got Aulus to take us to the assembly? And from there, we use some of their abilities and talents to help us make a plan for the island. See what they have there. See what we can do. And have a better plan. Figure out how outnumbered we are, so to speak.
They didn't exactly seem very fond of helping us out that much last time we dealt with them.
But we have Atlov with us this time.
To be fair, we still worked for the people that, at that point. And now
Yes,
it's
also
well
that.
known that we don't. So maybe there will be a little bit more leniency. We are quite wanted.
Very much so.
Wouldn't the best course of action be to unite all our forces?
Get you to a meeting.
Yeah. If we have the help of Discora on our side, Discora armies might be able to storm the mountains. Us and the assembly might be able to storm the island.
And when it's all said and done, we might be able to storm Kel's castle and kick his ass. Kick her ass.
Her.
Their ass.
Kick ass.
I'm not against getting help, personally. I mean, I already said I would be all for us going up north to where the Isles are and meeting up with all of them and getting involved there.
I think
Isn't that Tiefling going to the islands up north?
Maracus, yeah.
Where...
Kind of the former leader of Kino, so to speak.
No. Sorry, I mean the Tiefling that has my kids.
Yes.
Yeah.
She's also going to the Elcaf Isle.
Yeah, your kids are going to be
In fact,
there.
you could probably confirm her position by checking with Ortra because you'd know where your kids are.
I might do that, yeah.
Oh, right, because that was the paladin lady that's supposed to be like another one of the Paragon things.
Yep.
Right.
I think trying to weave... If I understand correctly, the point of the assembly is to topple Kells. I think it's time to weave them into a bigger plot to finally topple them.
If we're going with no cloaks and shadows and daggers and whatnot, then we do need to convince the assembly to do that. And maybe they would receive more support from Discora than Kino.
I think it would be very much up to us to convince Adnalov. It feels like she's pretty high up in the assembly pecking order. She really did not like the idea of the assembly moving out of the dark.
Do we want to call Adnalov back in here and keep Aulus out of the conversation?
I don't see why we need to keep Aulus out. I think... What does Adnalov want? I guess is the question.
I think that's a question we can ask without Aulus in the room.
I think we need to look at this from a position of what we are as a group in this. Right now, we are a half-trusted link between Discora and the assembly. We are the point of communication, perhaps, that needs to happen.
I agree.
If we could at least make sure that that's initiated before we start running around islands of who knows what, then, at least we would have already given that a shot, Greff,
Yeah, I think so. I think you're right.
So why don't we make bullet points here of what we're going to do so that we don't get ourselves confused again.
The assembly doesn't need to decide whether they are going to hide or not right now. No. As long as we fulfill that point of communication.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Okay. So,
all right, let's
laying out the plan.
Bullet point this.
Yep.
Bullet point number 1. Convince Adnalov to join us at the meeting. Point 2. Go to the meeting. Point 3. Convince Discora to storm Kino. Point 4. Profits. Thank you. What would be point 4?
That would depend, I guess, on point 3. So I think we would kind of have to cross that bridge when we get to it. Because if Discora is like, all right, we're going to do it, but we need to have some help here, you need to tell us where we're going, then, okay, maybe we lead the group of them down to the islands, and then the other group goes to the capital. Or yeah, I don't know. I don't do this whole leader thing.
Yeah, I think so. All right, so we got a 3-point plan. Simple, short.
The reason why I'm kind of iffy with Aulus being in the room is because I had my friends telling me that he's got a lot of information, but he's also full of shit. So I'm a little iffy when literal gods are telling me maybe be a little bit more careful around somebody.
I think I have a good idea of... I think I have all this figured out.
That's the thing about being around evil people. You have to try to make yourself seem valuable for your own survival.
No, I don't think it's about his own survival. I think it's no price too high. He would sacrifice every single one of us if it meant that Kels died, and he wouldn't hesitate. I don't think he's evil. I think he's very single-minded and dedicated to his cause. And if he had to go with us, he would. But only if he knew it was a sure thing, because I don't think he believes anybody else could do what he does.
Well, luckily for him, you can do things that he can't. And that makes us valuable.
Yes.
So we do have that.
All right.
At this point, you hear a slight tap at the door, and Adolf walks in. Aulus was right next to her.
Okay, so it's like open for me to walk in as well. Okay. Yeah. I was just like,
she doesn't care if you're following.
Yeah, he follows.
So
Slaps the door before him.
Smash.
The door opens quietly for Adnilov, and then as soon as Aulus just steps up,
yeah. As soon as you step foot across the threshold, it's like up to that point, Adolf had been very stealthy in her approach. No, for clarity, Adolf and Aulus have been having a conversation outside. Right. That's all the clacking.
All right.
So, I had the feeling you were done.
Were you listening in? You can be honest, you were listening, weren't you?
We were having a conversation.
Shrugs her shoulders. She looks at Aulus and she looks at the four of you and she shrugs. Like, I would be a pretty terrible spy if I didn't pay attention.
All right, so you already know, so.
She sits up on this kind of same chair that she was before because it's roughly about right-ish height for her to be able to sit at the table. She says, I didn't catch everything, but I can trust Aulus about as far as I can throw my knife. So.
I can't tell if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
Yeah, how far is that?
I've seen you stab, but not throw.
And is the hand that you have still your primary hand? Luckily, yes.
And how aerodynamic is the knife?
Guys, I think we're focusing on the wrong thing. How strong are you, Adolf? I think that's the important...
Greff, I'm never going to take you in an arm wrestle. Let's put it like that.
All right, so not very far. Got it.
I would like my scarf back, though.
I was gonna offer it back at an appropriate time, but sure, just in the middle of a talk about fancy daggers and throwing them. Sure, here you go.
She puts it off and kind of, as if it's now a practice motion, definitely ties it back around her neck. She says, as far as I understand, your plan is to head north to where the meet is. And then I'm afraid we really rather got lost in the conversation. And she looks over at Aulus and looks back at you.
Yeah.
Unless someone has a more important place for us to be, I think that is where we feel our best plan of action is.
Our skills could be put to proper use.
The question is, you, Adnilov, would you be willing to hear them out?
The assembly or your plans or...
Is the assembly willing to let us be the connection between you and Discora?
If the assembly will accept our leadership, then I would trust no one else, to be honest. If you're looking for direction on what to do, I know what you're good at. It is a lot of things, but there are things that you're better at than others. I agree that I think the armies of Discora would be better suited to rescuing the captives under the mountain. Gwale is a very strong stronghold. I still expect you to know that, looking like a Goliath, but she kind of gives you half a smile.
I heard it was hard to crack, so they stopped trying. Not because they couldn't, but because it was very poor use of time.
It was a rather expensive attack, one that could not be sustained. I think before either Aulus or I could come meet with everyone at the meet, we have to get the assembly under control first.
I agree.
And getting them to step out from the shadows is difficult. It's not a place many of us relish being. Luckily, there will always be a part that requires specialist Black Op training, I guess. But you're right, this is not the time for a lot of cloak and dagger.
How would
then
you...
I guess...
Nope, I was first.
Yep, you were first.
No, I was first to offer it.
No, too late. You first.
I guess the question is, when do we want to meet up again? And what promises can we give to the people of Discora about the assembly?
I guess, Aulus, you're the one who could answer that. You've had more contact with them than I. I mean, my resources and knowledge is quite deep on the subject. Had to be, but you still know them better than I.
Change is coming. If it is not stopped, it will overtake us all. We have to act first. I think they can be managed through information, and I believe that the case can be made that this is no longer something that can be attacked from the shadows quietly with time and attrition. This is something that must be stopped now. Cal's only got into the position she's in because we failed to act when we had the chance.
You didn't know what she was going to be. It's not your fault, Aulus.
So perhaps our focus would be best centered on the items.
That sounds logical.
You had mentioned something about an item of Tawree.
Yes.
Gauntlet.
Getting that sounds like, cloak and daggers and all that.
I think that relics are a little more cloak and dagger than busting in and rescuing a lot of people.
So we need to organize the rescues and then do the subterfuge.
One could be a distraction for the other. I'm not saying abandon all logic and reason and tactics. I'm just saying that we can't stay a divided multitude. We need to have centralized leadership and to focus our efforts and actions in a way that is intelligent. That's more or less what I'm trying to say. Your interpretation of what I was trying to say earlier is...
I agree. It's just like it's pulling teeth to get everyone together to do it.
Which is why centralized leadership under two people in this room would be very useful.
Where the assembly is able to help. When you go to this meeting, meet with Discora and the other leaders of Kino. Whoever else is out there.
Mm-hmm.
Tell them where we can, the assembly will have their back.
Right.
I think between Aulus and I, we can either persuade, make a case, bribe or bully the others, if we have to.
Agreed.
I trust you to take that message for me. And I trust that you won't give either Aulus or I up.
Not in a million years.
The more people gather together, the higher the chance that there is an agent of the Blissful Eclipse amongst them.
So it sounds like we're splitting up here then? 4 of us going north, you 2 going...
Wherever the assembly hides.
Well, I don't know where we actually are except on a boat, so I can't give you
We're
the direction.
outside of Sylvana.
Okay.
Ivoris, we were holding that as a trump card.
Were we?
Baskin literally said we were here like 2 minutes... Okay, maybe it was more like 10 minutes ago, but...
I think it's unconscious.
Oh, shit, yeah, you're right.
In my defense, I only just recently...
Yeah.
How long was I out?
You were outside enough to know, probably.
It's been 20 years, Aulus. Where the fuck were you? The war's over.
Blissful Eclipse already came and gone. This is the new one.
You're old now. I'm Greff's great-great-great-great-grandson.
Wait, 20 years? What the fuck? How often? I have questions about human anatomy, if that's the case.
You realize I'm Elven, right?
That was the joke Greff was going for.
Oh, okay.
10 generations. All right.
In 20 years.
Let's arrange to meet up again. Somewhere safe. I fully expect that my place outside of Sylvana will be compromised soon enough. The mine is obviously a no-go.
No. How about the leaky bucket?
No, Greff.
You guys never agreed to come to the leaky bucket anymore. Ever since we started hanging out of baskets, you guys never come about the leaky bucket anymore. Okay, so not the leaky bucket. Fine.
Roughly speaking, how many miles do you think it is from, say, Sylvana to, I don't know, like the Oghath Isles? Hypothetically, of course.
It depends entirely on which island you're going to. There's one that's probably less than a day's row. I mean, Helsif did it far less. I guess it entirely depends which isle.
Well, because my line of thinking is I got a spell that I could do that would make it where we could possibly communicate, but, like, it's a little expensive, and it requires relying on an animal to do it, so it's kind of... They can only go so far with their little wings and everything, you know, like the birds and all that stuff.
Ortrob pulls himself up onto the table.
You're not an animal, you don't count.
Cassie, can a bunny give a middle finger to someone?
They can give a middle ear.
Perfect.
He's
There's
got 3
definitely
ears?
middle earage going on. Just one ear cocked slightly in the middle like a mohawk. Clearly says go. You see that Ortrob just taps the map on one of the islands, kind of a little bit north of Sylvana. It's a fairly smallish island, but that's the one he taps.
Mm-hmm.
And for us, it's the one that's labelled Helsif's Island.
Makes sense.
It's not labelled that on Baskin's because he doesn't know it's Helsif's Island. He just knows there's an island there.
There's a dirt on the map.
Yeah, it's like, don't run into that, it will destroy Baskin's boat. Yeah.
What is it, Ortrob?
He looks up at Vox, looks back down at the map, taps, and looks back up at Vox.
Oh, that's the destination. Okay. I don't have to speak to animals to know that one. Okay, so...
Does that happen to be where my children are?
Yeah, Ortrob nods.
So assuming that we go there, how far is it to Sylvana here? Pulls out a little map measuring thing.
Yep, he pulls out 2 fingers, which make roughly 30 days between Darkhammer Stronghold and Belagabud. Probably about 10 days by boat, maybe.
I need mile measurements.
What's the miles?
What do you mean, what's the miles?
How many miles can an unladen swallow fly in one day?
Yeah.
Roughly 50 miles.
Oh, yeah, easy.
Oh, then that would actually work fantastic then, because that's actually... Okay.
Yeah, because by boat, yeah, easy. You travel faster on the boat than you would do walking or on a horse. So, yeah, easy.
Okay, so what I could do then, if we need to communicate, is I can always send a message to you, as long as you're here in Sylvana, because then I could just have a bird come flying around and looking for you and deliver.
I won't be in Sylvana. That's not where the assembly is based.
I can't go that far. My magic only does so much. I don't have sending like a lot of these other people here. Well, okay, not here, but here, as in Kino, you know.
She looks very awkward, and then she says, "There is someone I could trust. What do you need for your spell?"
I need to meet them. I need to see them. I need a description so that I could tell the bird who to look for.
Would just a description and a name work?
Can we use the boxes for communication?
Yeah, I could actually do that, because I've been to Sylvana here, so I already know the location. And then it's just a matter of having a general description of the person. So yeah, I could do that. I just need to have, like, a solid description of them.
Well, he looks a lot like me. Last time I saw him, had a mass of grey and blue hair. And he probably would never have gotten rid of the beard. He's a little bulkier than I am.
I still don't understand the depth of scrying yet, like how intense scrying is in this world. If I'm just like, I step outside, you're effed.
You just hide on this boat like, I don't know what I'm doing here.
But it's safe.
His name is Drak. Those of you playing it, if you have to write it down, it's D-R-A-C-H. Middle name of Tor, T-O-R. Drak Tor.
Okay, older goblin, gray-blue hair, beard.
Yes.
All right, I think I got that kind of description down easy enough. All right, so if I need to get in contact with you while we're up there, I will send a messenger bird.
Yes.
I just need to make sure I have that spell prepared.
Just let us know when you think you'll be back, and we'll try and either one or both of us to meet you.
I will do my best. I think we have a plan then.
Yeah, but we're all on one boat.
Well, clearly you guys got to get off. We kind of have privileges here.
I'm going to say it's like the morning of day 70. Let me check that there's no weird shenanigans happening on day 70.
It rained blood. And fish.
No, that happened a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
No, today it was yesterday, day 69 is the first day of winter, so yesterday was full of snow. Not that
we didn't get to go swimming.
No.
Oh, right. We saw that when we were at that house with the plants.
Yeah.
It was starting to snow then.
Yep. Today is 71. Wild information. Here we go. Timeline. There we go. Boop. Make sure I remember to put it as day 70.
What's the Discora party doing today?
All the fun shit, guys.
What did we do?
Day 70. The Witcher Society call their moots at Lynn's Lament.
Oh, God.
Today's the day you put Dacian in the bubble.
Yeah! I'm going to go back to living in those days.
That was a good time.
I'm happy we're not on those days. Yeah. Day 70. Yeah, literally nothing of massive importance is going to happen worldwide today, so we're good.
Can I do a vision?
You may.
I want to see if they kill cows.
The dragons?
The things that are fighting it. Yeah, right now.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Go ahead.
That's a special roll. Okay, got it.
As I see you, as Adlanov sees you doing that, she drops something in front of Aulus, or rather she kind of throws something in his general direction just to get him to look away, just enough not to see what the fuck you're doing.
Passive perception.
What's your passive?
12.
Okay.
Probably miss it.
You don't see this. You go.
It's a non-natural 20.
Oh, okay. What specifically are you looking for? The dragons, Kells?
Specifically Kells, the outcome of their fight.
Okay. Looking into the future, you can tell it's not too far in the future. You're probably talking minutes at the most. You see Kel standing on a balcony. You can see there is a massive room behind her, and it's flashing this kind of reddish green colour, but that's not the important thing. You see her throwing her hands forward as she finishes this very long cast. She's wearing a robe which is drenched in magic itself. Her fingers have become gnarled and twisted and almost bone-like. And as she throws her hands up, you see these shards of bone from the ground lift upwards and smash into the heart of this big black dragon as it swoops past her, attempting to take her in its jaws. But the hit throws it off course and it goes turning and tumbling, and you see this massive hole in the side of the black dragon. You can almost see its heart from how badly she's managed to impact this. You see that the white dragon goes flying overhead and sprays this ice spray down on top of all of her, and you can see that she gets covered in it and frozen in place. But she very quickly shakes it off and smiles as she watches the black dragon begin to circle, and not being able to fly properly, just have to eventually leave the field. She smiles, knowing that her job is mostly done. You can look around and you can see there is absolute chaos in the capital. You can see that buildings have been leveled. You can see that there are dragonborn fighting in the streets against these hordes of undead, these creatures that are composed of limbs, but there are too many limbs and too many different types of limbs, from Dragonborn, from Tabaxi, from Goliath, from lizard folk even. And they're all one riling mash just fighting on the streets. You can see that she smiles and laughs as she teleports away. She does look pretty fucked up. Like, she has bruises, she has cuts. One of her arms is bleeding profusely, as in it's just not stopping. And she has this kind of cut just below her eye. She looks fucked up, but she is alive.
Should have been there, guys.
She goes back to her bed. You see, like, this cunning, like, weight above her head, and as she lies down, but no, that doesn't happen.
Shut up, V. I told you that in confidence.
Best plan ever.
Most important question, what did I get from being thrown at me?
She throws one of her daggers just in your general direction.
Blade first, or just like, catch?
Just catch. Yeah, just kind of like... She just throws something at you, and as like she does that, she says, "Well, I see that you're short of blades. You might as well borrow mine for now." In a cunning attempt to cover Ivoris doing his future check, which you don't see. You think it's an act of kindness? It's not.
I thought it was a symbolism to show us how far she trusts him.
That's where I was going with it.
No, that's like out of the fucking... No, it's just a gentle, underhanded toss. Well, I guess you and I should probably jump ship.
Yes. That's our cue, I guess. I've got a weapon now, and I appreciate your rescue again. Thank you. And the next time we see each other, if there is such an event, will be very likely drastically different circumstances.
I should hope so. I'm definitely not rescuing you again.
I didn't need rescuing, but I appreciate it. I won't go into that. Timenston hefer gertos ufluch. And he departs through the correct door.
The fuck did he just say?
What language are you speaking?
Eithor knows it.
Was Icelandic.
He's speaking whatever the equivalent would be, probably Dwarvish. He's got a bit of Dwarvish in him, and he's not that great at Dwarvish. He's pretty terrible, in fact.
Damn it.
Dwarvish is just really heavy Scottish.
Oh, okay. So then we'll go with, what else do I speak? I've got like a bunch of languages on here. I've got like 6. Whichever one you want to be Icelandic. Probably like Thieves' Cant, I guess. We'll go with that.
Great. Let's do Thieves' Cant. Fuck it, whatever. It's a thing.
And he's gone.
Okay, then Vox
gone.
looks at Adnalov.
Ivoris will whisper to Adnalov, Kel's teleports away.
Fuck. I am unbelievably mad. If I had known he wasn't. But there's no point dwelling on what ifs. Thank you for letting me know.
Just be
At least
careful.
we know that she's still out there.
Indeed. Be cautious. And, yeah.
She kind of like steps up on like the chair that she's on and she just gives you a hug. It's very brief.
Ivoris hugs back.
You too.
If we have any fancy teleporting in and out of places planned again, we will try to let you know. But I can get to you at any point, so yeah, that's how that works. I can go anywhere of people that I know. I guess. So we have a way to get back wherever. We'll be in touch.
Do I have a way of telling you not to arrive?
We'll figure something out at the point. I'm still trying to figure out a lot of my magic.
Yes, I see you've gone through a fair amount of changes.
Yes.
Is that a good thing for you, or is that something that's not a good thing for you? I don't know if I should be cheering you or commiserating.
I am happy with it, I think.
She kind of gives you like a broad smile and she says, good.
I don't have to,
I do.
be the other thing if I don't want to be. But at least now, I feel like me, On the outside, I don't have to wear it as much,
You deserve some happy, Ivoris. You do.
Thank you.
All right, well, I guess I better leave.
Be safe.
You too. And if you need something, you can always send me a message or send me a box, but please not a naked Aulus in the box. I'm not sure my heart could withstand that.
Yeah. We'll try to keep him. Just try to keep him clothed. We'll send some extra clothes with him.
Thank you. She kind of jumps down from the chair, and she goes over and she gives Vox a hug, and she says, "You take care."
You as well. I have it on good authority from certain people up above that you should probably be careful around. Doesn't finish the sentence, just kind of does a gesture towards the door.
Yeah, he's clearly listening. I will. But I actually think there's a part of me that might trust him, so. And if not, I'll just... And she says it loud enough to definitely be heard. If not, I'll just slit his throat while he sleeps.
If you need help hiding the body, you let me know. I know some good spots.
They haven't found my bodies, my love. It's fine. She walks over to Tawree, and she kind of reaches up and she kind of offers you a hand.
Tawree takes your hand and gets on eye level with you and shakes it. It was nice meeting you.
And you as well.
You're doing good work, as I understand. We haven't met each other long, but I think you're doing good work.
I appreciate that. And it's good to see someone who cares so much about their young. You're a good mother.
They will need to have our world to live in as well.
They will. And I know my boys don't look it, but they kind of do occasionally need a hit on the back of the head.
Maybe you should also get yourself a big spoon.
I will. You stay safe.
I have to survive for my kids.
Yes, you do. And with that, she walks as if she's about to walk past Greff. Then she turns and she looks up at him and she says, "Stay safe."
You too. Good luck.
Thank you. Hey, don't get killed.
Wasn't planning on it. And as far as I know, all my plans have come to fruition so far.
Greff, don't, no.
Why would you put that
Please
out
don't
there?
mistake luck. Sheer blind luck in everything ever.
Knock on wood.
She kind of drops her shoulders a little bit, and you can just tell she's just playing along at this point.
Jinxed it. Absolutely jinxed it.
Knock on the boat.
I mean it. Don't die. I mean it. Don't die out there. I know that you risked a lot to come here. And as much as you played off, I know you risked a lot. You have You have a chance to do good things. Just don't fuck it up.
I'll do my best. It's a good thing I had a really good teacher early on.
Yeah. She looks over at Ivoris and like gives him a smile. All right. I'll see you in a few days. Or rather, I'll hear from you in a few days. With that, she kind of does a little wave and she leaves. Is there anything anyone would like to do whilst aboard this boat before we speed you folks ever onwards north? Or anything you guys want to do, like jumping out into Sylvana? Anything you want to talk to anyone about before we wrap up this episode? Because I'd like to start the next episode somewhere near Olcath.
I guess Tawree would just try to confirm the exact location of her kids, just to make sure that, making sure that, that we are going towards the kids, so she doesn't have this feeling of we're meeting the kids.
Yeah, no, absolutely. As you reach out to Ortrob and you just kind of nudge him to hey, show me the kids. You do get this really good view of your kids playing around this. It's really early in the morning. You get this idea that your kids are very early in the morning and they're sneaking out of the house and away from where Zarissa is keeping an eye on them. And you see them meeting up with a couple of other orc and half-orc boys about the same age as them. And you see them rushing off into the wooded area together and they're laughing and playing and climbing trees and they're just being kids. And you can see that some of them have stolen some berries from gathered some berries from nearby and they're all just happily eating them and they're building tree houses as best that they can. As they climb higher and higher and you kind of see them looking down and looking around, you can see very clearly the outline of the island that you're on, or at least a good portion of it, and it does match the one that Ortrob pointed to on the map.
That makes Tawree very happy. She's just smiling, looking forward to seeing them again.
Yeah. And as you continue checking on them on the voyage northwards, you just get more confirmation that you're heading in the right direction. And you get the idea that your kids are being brats on occasion and really pushing the parental limits with Zarissa because she doesn't know how far she's allowed to go. But you do see her put her stompy foot down when it is needed. And you also see them interacting a fair amount with the deity that they're kind of bound to. You see the way that out of nothing they are creating these tree houses as accidents of what the things that they're doing more than a directed purpose. So
I think Tawree is just happy that they're allowed to be kids even in this chaos and even after that whole thing in the waste of Tiseramu.
They're resilient. Most kids are, I think. They're resilient. Okay. Anybody else?
Yes.
No. Oh.
Go for it.
I do need to make sure Baskin is aware of all of the things that I have done, because no secrets and lies and whatnot. So, he tells Baskin that he is done with his transformations and all of what has happened and everything, and explains his new magic and his thing. And depending on, because I've written myself into this situation where I have to do the book thing in a dream, he will gauge Baskin's reaction to everything as to whether or not he even brings that up.
Okay. If you want to go talk to Baskin, it's super easy. I mean, he's the captain of the ship. There'll either be two places he'll be, kind of up on the helm on that top deck, or he'll be in the captain's quarters, and that's currently most part filled by your companions. So, you can find him easily up on deck whenever you like.
Okay. I'm going to go up on deck. I think I look different because we're in a port of a town.
So you guys are kind of outside of the port, so you can look in and see where the port is and see where the harbour arms are. You can see that from where you are. And you can see Adenlov and Aulus, you can see them rowing out towards actually Sylvana proper. Whereas you guys are beginning to unfurl the sails and, the helmsman is getting it going in the right direction. So you can see it, but it's not super close.
Okay. He's going to go find Baskin, wherever Baskin is. He'll go out.
Yeah, I think in that case, like you'll find Baskin kind of up near the wheel, but he's like kind of mostly at the back of the boat. He's just overseeing, like it's like a king overseeing their domain. Like this is exactly what he is doing. He's overseeing it all, and he's occasionally calling out directions to people. But yeah, mostly you'll find him at the back at the top of the ship. As you approach, you see like Baskin is kind of not exactly scolding, but he's directing one of his guys that are like unfurling one of the sails, and he sees you coming, finish off his quick like snap directions, and then he just kind of looks at you with a kind of more of an inquisitive smile, like he's happy you're here, but he's also highly confused by everything that has just happened.
Yeah. Ivoris has that look about him, like someone who is happy to see you, but also, am I in trouble? He has his ears backwards a little bit, you know, he's got that look about him.
So Ivoris has also lost the tongue shape, right? So his tongue has become more tabaxi-like versus being more like snake-like.
Yeah, one big thing also is, in particular for Ivoris, his eyes, or his remaining eye, because I believe that tigers don't have the vertical eyes. They have round
I feel like they have round pupils, yeah.
So yeah. Ivoris's, snake
pupils
eye
are now round. Yeah.
would have been one of those things that gave him away as a Yanti before.
Yeah. Yeah, you can see Baskin, like, his perception is pretty good, so I'm going to say he would also notice those things. I mean, he does love you, so he's going to notice some of those things. You do tend to notice if your partner's eyes change colour, or in this case, shape. So, yeah, he kind of, you know, you get that feeling like you're being, like, very quickly assessed, like, what else has changed. Like, you can see there's, like, kind of a concerned look on his face. He hadn't noticed all of this before.
Should we find a place to talk?
Baskin feels like this would be a good idea.
Sure.
You see him walk over, he taps the helmsman on the shoulder and basically tells him to go do something else useful. The top of the ship is basically just a pair of you, and you're kind of not exactly massively higher than everyone else, but if you keep your voices, you know, kind of low-ish, no one's really going to pick anything up, unless they have observant, in which case there's nothing I can do about that. Fuck you, Aulus.
Uh-huh.
He takes over the helm, and as you kind of end up getting your space and your privacy, he says, Baskin is worried.
Worried about what?
Ivoris is different. Is this what Ivoris wanted?
I think so. And do you like it? He kind of...
He smiles. he smiles. Yeah, when he turns and looks at you and your arms are open, and he could just see, like, yeah, like, you're happy. This is what you wanted. You can see him, like, split into, like, a really big smile. And, yeah, he's clearly happy. And he says, of course, Baskin sees Ivoris. This is what Ivoris felt like before, yes?
This is how I was born, yes. So this is how I would have looked without all of the, the cult stuff.
Baskin understands.
I did have to move, forward. There's no backwards. Does Baskin understand that?
Yes. Ivoris explained it very clearly to Baskin. It's the other changes that Baskin worries about. Baskin doesn't exactly understand what's changed. Baskin sees Ivoris as he is, and this makes me glad. But is there other things that Baskin should know?
Well, let's start at the beginning. Huh?
Yes.
I wasn't excited to go to the auntie, and had an idea that I thought might make it worth it. And I thought that I could try to use all of the time that we've been spent getting into trouble, risking our necks for the same tribute as I would use the dreams that I used to do. And I knew I could get in contact with Dindar, and I have an understanding of Dindar. And it so turned out that the Yuan-ti had left Dindar already. And so this deal worked as a bit of irony for Dindar as well.
You see that Baskin looks a little bit taken back by that news. Baskin obviously knows about, to a degree, a lot about the Yuan-ti from what he's learned from Ivoris. And hearing that they've switched allegiances, I guess, definitely comes as a shock. But he kind of like nods in understanding. He's following your progress.
So a lot has happened, but all based on that. Dindar answered. I made it clear that I was not going to be doing the dream tributes as I had done before, but that I did understand how important it was to protect Dindar. We've talked vaguely about Dindar, I think.
Yes. Dindar is god or goddess or deity of nightmares, and you used to have to worship.
Yes. Because Dindar was different, and I didn't know how to exactly put it at the time. But especially now, Dindar doesn't... How do I explain Dindar? So every time you wake up and can't recall your dream, it was because Dindar had... You understand that?
Yes.
Everything dreams, everything experiences this. Dindar has become a part of the nature of consciousness, so to speak. And if one thing is certain, Dindar doesn't want us dead.
This relieves Baskin a lot.
When you go into someone's dream, and I do an illusion of something there, and you see it, and you turn around, and then I take the illusion away, it's still there, because now it's something that I planted that you have taken over. And when you take that and things start snowballing, when Dindar comes, dreams get intense. And if Dindar dies, we don't have the merciful position of Dindar. Right now, Dindar takes all of those away from us. And if Dindar dies...
We are all stuck with nightmares.
Nightmares that the auntie can't even... You can't stay and watch Dindar eat, let's just say that. The dreams get out of control. They get hard to comprehend, and they can make even a Yuan-ti less of what they were before.
Baskin has 2 questions.
Sure.
Ivoris said that he goes into dreams and plants illusions.
Used to.
Can Ivoris still do this?
Yes, I can.
Does Ivoris have to plant bad dreams?
No. No, that's not a part of our deal. I'm just...
That's
Baskin's other question. If Ivoris has completed his journey, and it was with Dendar, what is the deal between Dendar and Ivoris? Should Baskin be worried?
I think I'm considered a warlock now. Dendar's providing... You saw my book. He brings out his book. Dendar's showing me a lot of useful things. I think that it's important for me to help as much as I can. And having this kind of connection, having access to these sort of things, I mean, it's already been useful. Look at us here. We wouldn't have been able to make it here from the capital. You have no idea what's going on in the capital right now.
Baskin will learn in time. Baskin is learning about the important. Baskin is learning about you first. So, is Ivoris not worried that Dendar might use this power that they're giving you to make you slip down the path of the darker UNT again?
I don't think so. I like to think I wouldn't anyways, but...
Baskin knows you wouldn't, but Baskin still worries. It's all this magic and gods. Baskin has an appreciation and love of magic, but Baskin cannot do. Baskin doesn't understand. Baskin doesn't understand everything like Baskin understands the ship. Baskin knows everything on the ship. Baskin is happy and confident. Baskin is a little scared because Baskin doesn't 100% understand.
A lot of this, of course, is new to me as well. I'm reading and learning, and if you come across anything concerning, then let me know and I'll look into it. But Dendar's been around for a very long time, far before any Yanti, any cult worshipped dragons and gods and this and that. I don't think that Dendar is out to harm us. And I think that in this one time, Dendar might need our help and has few people to trust if the Yanti have left.
Baskin understands, Baskin thinks.
Do you have anything you want me to look into? I mean, I have a book, but it is Dendar's book. I could find other books that could...
No. Baskin did a little reading and looking into things. If Ivoris is tabaxi now...
No,
Ivoris
well, I'm
also
not... I
not...
I look at it, but
yeah.
We get it.
Yeah. Baskin wants to see what else Ivoris is. So Baskin isn't scared. In case Ivoris has to. For whatever reason.
Ivoris has like a, oh no, shocked look on his face.
Baskin doesn't want Ivoris to have to hide anything. Baskin and Ivoris agreed not to lie or hide.
Right, I'm not lying. I'm not hiding anything.
He reaches out and he puts a hand on your elbow, and he looks very intently at you, and he says, Baskin knows this. But for Baskin to understand, Baskin needs to see and feel and understand. Baskin will always wonder and be scared of what is not known.
Baskin will love you anyway.
I haven't even seen it yet, Baskin. What if... I mean, I'll show you, but I thought maybe that I would never have to,
Baskin understands. Baskin will wait for when Ivoris is ready.
Baskin, we're outside. Your crew knows, I'm sure.
Yes. Baskin told you that if Baskin's crew had a problem, they would not be Baskin's crew. But Baskin's crew stayed. Baskin's crew know that you make me smile.
My only point in life at this point, Baskin, is to make you as happy as you've made me. Because before this, I was kind of just wandering aimlessly.
Baskin saw. And Baskin sees a much happier Ivoris. So, if people consider Dendar bad, but Dendar helped Ivoris be Ivoris, then that's good enough for Baskin.
Let's just put it this way. Dendar likes being fed, and Dendar is fed when we are making ourselves miserable. In that way, Dendar is bad. But Dendar isn't as bad.
Then Baskin will have to make it that you dream only good things.
Should we go inside? Iris gestures around them to people.
Yeah, I think enough time has passed at this point that you're fairly out to sea. Whoever it was that's still hanging out down in the captain's cabin can now be politely told to shove off and find their own places to hang out. Yeah.
Okay.
You can go down and head there. That's fine.
Yeah, he will go down and, with great hesitance, become the Yanti monster thing.
You see that he does look a little taken aback, but it's one that's not as overblown as you thought it might be. You thought it'd be like, nothing like that. It's just a slight twitch in the face of like, okay.
Yeah, he can see that Ivoris is processing it. He probably doesn't even look at it for a moment and just stares at Baskin's reaction and then kind of looks around, engages, and he's looking down at his hands.
Yeah, you can see that he, after a while, Baskin kind of probably not even a while. It might feel like an eternity to Ivoris, but probably not much more than half a second later, Baskin reaches over and he just puts a hand into yours, and he just kind of he nods and smiles. For him, he's hesitant, but he's not scared. You're not horrifying to him.
So this is the only way that I can do the mind control thing now. I can't do it the other way as a, tabaxi. But I have my claws and I can purr and all of that. So, that's great.
Baskin likes that.
He'll turn back into a tabaxi.
Yeah, his expression where he's just kind of smiling at you and just looking at you, that expression hasn't changed from Yuan-Ti form into tabaxi form, but as soon as you become a more huggable size,
yeah,
he just pulls you into a very tight hug.
He can tell that when Ivoris hugs, he probably, because we hugged when Ivoris showed up briefly,
yeah,
he can tell that Ivoris is kind of not aware of his claws, because his grip is associating with them, and every time he grabs at something, it's claws as well. Something that you would have had to wean out of someone's behavior as a kitten or something. He just doesn't have.
Yeah.
And yeah.
There is the customary like of like, you know, when a cat grabs your arm, you're like, you motherfucker. Just that, but he's a hardened sailor. He's used to worse pains. He just very quietly says, Baskin loves Ivoris. All of Ivoris, no matter what.
You're the best thing that's ever happened to me, Baskin. I love you.
He pulls back and he just kind of looks you directly in the eyes, and then for, I think maybe the first time, you feel next to your heart a second heartbeat, like.
Emotions are weird.
He also looks a little taken back. Like, it's clearly not happened to him either. Baskin agrees.
Yeah. So, perhaps, if your crew, they're here, of course, should I...
Baskin should like for you to talk with them.
Right.
If Ivoris is going to be more on Baskin's ship, then Ivoris should know the crew too.
I look forward to getting to know them. I would love to spend time here, but, you know, I don't want to be in the way. Perhaps I could meet your second in command. Maybe if I, you know, get a good...
Baskin's first mate is good. Baskin's first mate has to wait until we're much further from Sylvana.
Right.
And he nods. He says, Baskin's first mate, Ren. Ren is from Discora, like Greff.
Oh. That's, how are they? Do they have, like, a ring, or...?
No. Baskin's ship has some secrets. He kind of just has that smile on his face. And he takes you by the hand and he basically leads you downstairs to the hull of the ship and kind of shows you where some of these like secret and hidden compartments are. Where there are a couple of crew members that aren't from Kino necessarily, hidden amongst the secret compartments on his ship. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So you are more than happy at this point to have at it and go and chat with the crew and not work. Cool beans. Anybody else?
Greff wants to learn how to be a sailor.
That's magical.
Okay.
He's lived on a farm his entire life, and my assumption is that the jumps between the Arcath Isles were not on real boats. It was a very...
Yeah, some of them would have been, but most of them wouldn't.
Yeah.
Most of them would have been like shitty rowboats that you managed to borrow, steal, or, you know, pick up passage with somebody else.
So I think Greff is absolutely mesmerized by this idea of living out on the sea, seeing as like his farm is like in the middle of the fucking country underneath a mountain. Like, he's mesmerized by this lifestyle and he really wants to learn more.
Yes. Greff yeah, fuck it. Greff, if he wants to be put on rotation, will be treated like the boy.
Yes.
And I say that with great fondness as an apprentice. Treated as the boy and yeah, like shown the ropes, shown the sail. He's shown basically almost all the jobs on the boats. And yeah, you get put to work. I mean, Greff is physically a very strong man. So yeah, you get put to work fairly quickly. And does Baskin a fair amount of the... Does Baskin know you're a human?
I guess that's a question for Ivoris. Greff would not have told him that just out of like a weird politeness of like, I'm not going to put you in that situation of having to know I'm a human. But it's absolutely something that Greff would trust Ivoris with having told Baskin. Like, Greff trusts Baskin 100%. It's literally just like I don't need to do this to you, so I'm not gonna.
Wasn't your human form uncovered and kind of put out there for everyone? Wasn't that into a thing?
Yeah, I'll do this another way.
So he probably would know through that.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a really good point.
When you are out of, basically out of like sight of Sylvana, when you're out on the sea proper, when there is no land, you become aware that there are additional people coming up from under the hatches, from the lower levels of the docks, hidden in various compartments. You see that there are gnomes, and you see that there is a couple of dwarves that come out and help upon the deck, that begin to like work the sails, that work up in the crow's nest, who take turns overnight to various things. You become aware very quickly that this isn't just filled with Kinos. These are also filled with Discorans.
Yeah, then I think Greff definitely at some point just kind of takes the ring off and feels free to be that.
Dun, dun, dun.
There is very few people who say anything. Most people just like shrug and move on, but you see a few people just like smiling at you, just like, should have known, that kind of a thing. Like especially some of them are much closer to the gnome and the dwarves that are working on there. The ones that work those shifts, they tend to primarily be overnighters. You just kind of get that feeling of like, we should have known, that accent. You kind of get that a lot. So yeah, you are very much free to be yourself here, especially as you get closer to the Olcath Isles, where it really is there is no treaty there. They don't give a shit. Just don't steal our stuff. Like, it's fairly simple. Yeah, Greff, you're more than able to learn how to be a sailor and be the Greff that we know is on the inside.
Yeah.
Okay, anyone else?
Aulus is in a terribly foul mood. He realizes that by escaping, he's put his sister in peril, and is going to try and broker some sort of deal, since Adnalov already knows about this somehow.
Yeah, we can do that actually. As you guys are rowing away, Adnalov is doing her best. She's keeping up her side of the rowboat. Let's put it like that. And she says, "So, your sister."
I would love to know how you found that out.
Woman needs to have her secrets.
Hopefully not the same ones and ways as Kells found out.
If I found out, then it's damn sure that she found out.
Yes, I'm aware that's partly how I was caught. The issue is she is in danger, rather large peril, and my absence will be noticed very quickly, and she will have no longer the same life she had previously, the day before.
I understand. I just put my brother in a very grave situation. I understand the need to protect your family. And the fact that you aren't willing to sacrifice her.
Can you do anything?
That was the decision between you dying and you not. I needed to know there was something in there.
Can you do anything about it? Or will I have to go personally?
There is, actually. There is an old Kino initiative member. I trust her with my life. She's retired, a little old. A little senile, actually. But I trust her. If your sister is willing to go with her, your sister and her children, she will keep them safe. She kept an eye on my brother. For her, it's a swapping one for another.
That's resolved then. Our work is cut out for us. Our path ahead is clear. There's still much to atone for.
Yes. And at some point, if you could find a way to replace my hand, I'd be awfully grateful.
I would offer mine, but it's the wrong size.
I still don't trust you, but I think we might work well together.
Quite possibly. I believe the same. And, yeah. If I can be of any assistance to return the favor, let me know.
We'll figure it out. Let's not keep score until afterwards, yes?
If we're both still alive, yes, that sounds fair.
And then just as like you guys are pulling into Shuvana, she's like, so, Greff, eh?
You too? Wink.
No comment.
I do want to say that Ivoris has been not doing the same thing that Greff is doing. He has no interest in working. He'll help. Don't get me wrong, but he's not wanting to learn about. He wants to learn, more than he wants to like figure out how to do things.
Ivoris is going for that other tailwind,
and he wants to meet the crew. He wants to talk to the crew because he kind of understands now through the growth of his relationship with his party how those relationships can be, and imagines that Baskin's relationship with his crew, because of all the illegal stuff, is probably like pretty good. So these are people that have been around Baskin for a long time. He probably knows them and is like recognizing this is probably this person I've heard about and this is probably that person. And he's just actually, talking and meeting people and trying to like make everyone else like comfortable with his presence and such, and just socializing basically.
Yeah, like actually true to Baskin's word when he said like they'll either understand you or they'll get off a ship. That's very much true to form. And some of the names that you've heard mentioned but you've never ever met them before, they would be like the gnome and the dwarves that are working on the boat. So you finally have like faces to put to some names.
He wants
and you do come across that. Yeah,
like, form
most people
a slow relationship with them and become friends with the people that Baskin spends his time around.
Yeah.
So
because you're definitely not working.
No.
That's fair. All right. Cool. I think that's probably a good place to stop if everyone's good.
Did we level up?
I hear pings going off in the background.
We leveled up, right?
We leveled up?
What level are you guys?
Right now we're 8.
3.
So you can become level 4. That's fine.
No. Do we level up? That's the question.
Level 4.
No!
Nice.
My foolproof plan backfired.
Yes, you may level up.
Oh, shit. Adnilov, come back. I can give you your hand.
No.
Hey, this is Cassie, voice of Tawree. First of all, thank you so much for listening. This has been quite a chaotic episode, hasn't it? And we did hop around on V's world quite a lot. If you got just as confused as most of me did in that episode, you can go to theluckydie.com, all in one word, theluckydie.com, and go to the bonus content to find a world map of this vast world that V has built for us as a little bouncy castle that we can hop around and send little boxes to each other with people inside of them. If you receive a box sent to you by an elemental, don't open it. Or maybe open it. I don't know. There might be naked drows in there. I would be careful. At any rate, we want to thank Twiglets Are Great for the name Drachtor or Dractor, or however you English speakers pronounce it. It's definitely Drachtor. Drachtor! Everyone else is just not pronouncing that right. Changed my mind. Anyway, thanks a lot to Twiglets Are Great for that name, and thanks to Holly for the name Wren. And if you're a relatively new listener who would like to know more about how to get a name submitted to the Not a Pete Pod, that's what we call it, you can find more about that on the Patreon. TLD Pod on Patreon. Anyway, I'm rambling. Hear you next episode. Bye!
In a distant cell far away, I recited poetry. Dark house by which I once more stand. Here in the long and loving street, doors where my heart was used to beat, so quickly waiting for a hand that can be clasped no more, will hold me for I cannot sleep. Like a guilty thing I creep at the earliest morning to the door. Greff, 6 months ago you said something that sounded like goodbye, and everyone thinks you are dead, but I. So I, as I grow stiff and cold, to this and that say goodbye too, and everyone sees that I am old, but you. Still in here, day 5. Because I liked you better than suits a man to say, it irked you and I promised to throw the thought away. To put the world between us, we parted stiff and dry. Goodbye, said you, forgive me. I will, no fear, said I. Is this all we have together? Is this what love really is? Yelling through a quarrel, making up through a kiss. Why can't we get along? Why do we have to fight? I walk around in a daze, my hollowed out interior filled with smoky gloom, choking off all joy as life begins to clear. Just as life begins to clear, I gasp aloud at the revelation. You're not here. You never will be again. I wilt like a water lily in the desert. I walk around in a daze. I do not stand at my grave and weep. I am not there, I do not sleep. I am 1,000 winds that blow. I am the diamond glints on snow. I am the sunlight on ripened grain. I am the gentle autumn rain. When you awaken in the morning's hush, I am the swift's lifting rush of quiet birds in circled flight. I am the soft stars that shine at night. Do not stand at my grave and cry. I am not there. I hopefully did not die.